The first half of the day, I think at this stage, I think pretty much everybody is in a like mind that Notts are under par. They've been bowled out for 218, bowled out in the 48th over, so a lot of deliveries left unbowled, but Notts were really just trying to eke their way to some sort of score. They lost too many wickets too early on. Matthew Montgomery's top score of 52, he was last out. Ben Slater 47. A lot of players got starts and then perished. Freddie McCann and Tom Moores both made 33. Jack Ames, who opened the innings today, made 17, but Notts were undone by a tidy and disciplined performance from Essex, led in the wicket-taking column by the youngster Jamal Richards, 5 for 31. Many congratulations to him. The other wickets were shared around nicely. Shane Snater, Jamie Porter, Ben Allison and Tom Westley all getting one apiece, and there was a run out, so Essex doing their job with the ball. They've sent out their two openers in the very attractive, I think, purple one-day kit of Essex this season. Notts will be desperate to make early inroads with the new balls. You have to say that because each umpire has a ball. They actually are only supposed to use one ball from each end, 25 overs for each ball. Luke Fletcher's going to get us underway, so 219 to win.
Interesting, Benkenstein and Das opening up. It's very interesting.
I can say I've got on my card Brown and Cushy on the school card.
They're going to have a dash at this.
That's the voice of David Brett, who's with us this afternoon. He's enjoyed what he's seen so far. He's enjoyed his fish and chips. He's enjoyed a walk round. Enjoyed an ice cream. Yeah, nice. Are you going to enjoy this performance?
Well, we'll see. I get the feeling that they're going to want to get the most out of this pitch before it does deteriorate. So hence the reason you've got Benkenstein and Das opening. Have a little bit of a dash at this. See if they can get ahead of the scoring rate. Fletcher's going to open up from the Radcliffe Road end. Right arm over to Benkenstein. Oh, beats him first up. Benkenstein prop forward. Beats the outside edge through to the wicketkeeper. No run.
You wondered why he didn't bowl. He was saving all his efforts to open the innings.
It appears that way. Otherwise, you would have opened with Brown.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody else had a bowl, didn't they? They weren't slow in rotating the bowlers.
One slip in for Benkenstein. There's a backward point, a cover and a mid-off and the offside. As Fletcher comes in, it's punched away, but it's fielded at backward point and no run.
Mentioned on Friday, he didn't actually wear them in the game, but in his warm-ups, when I was out there in the middle, I was chatting to Tom Moores, and he'd got bright scarlety orangey, don't know, some would see orange, some would see scarlet boots on, and crikey, Tom, what you got on your feet? He said they're Ben Duckets. I've borrowed them from Duckett. But he's wearing them, so you can see for yourself and judge what colour they are.
Fletcher, 19 on his back, past the umpire now, bowls, and Benkenstein covers up, defends into the offside, there's no run. Your wicket-keeper's got a pair of snazzy shoes on as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Tom Moores, the keeper.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Look like luminous.
Are you going orange or red?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say orange, actually.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
There must be wasps or bees or something, because all the players have just dropped to the ground. I've only seen this before, I think, on the Isle of Wight when Notts went a few years ago. But the players and the umpires are on the ground, and that's very, very unusual, very strange. There must be a swarm of wasps or bees that's just gone over the ground. Wondered if Luke Fletcher initially was the one that went to ground, and it was almost his own game of Simon Says or whatever. Simon Says dropped to the ground.
Well, they all followed. Wherever that swarm has gone, it's cleared a path as Fletcher comes in full edged down towards third man. Big swipe from Benkenstein, all on the ground, and Essex are off the mark. 1 for no loss, chasing 219 to win.
I don't know about you, and this isn't just a case of Notts tub thumping, but very much enjoyed the sight of everybody on the outfield during the interval, the mums and the dads and the kids getting out there with a bat and ball, and pretty much everybody took the opportunity to get out there and have a little bit of a walk round, which is nice. It breaks the day up nicely, but there was almost too many people and not enough grass. Lots and lots of them out there. Great to see.
Fletcher coming again, kicking up his heels, bowls, and that's into the pads of Das, who just guides it down towards that short boundary, down on the deep mid wicket side, and that's a single to the total. 2 for no loss.
Can you help us with any gaps in our knowledge then? Benkenstein, son of Dale, of course, we would know from South Africa, then Durham. How has he managed to find himself from his South African roots, his Durham playing dad, his Lancashire coaching dad right now, to find his way to Essex?
As Fletcher comes in now past the umpire, bowls, and it's worked into the leg side by Benkenstein. That's going to be a dot ball, and that is the end of the over. 2 for no loss, 1 over gone. Essex chasing 219 for victory. I don't know his path down here, but I presume probably someone on the Essex coaching staff as a way in with Benkenstein Senior.
Yeah.
And they gave him his opportunity. I think it was his debut that I saw him a couple of years ago, where he took a 5-for, and I think that was against Glamorgan.
With the ball, obviously.
Yes.
So he's got many talents. And Robin Das is a name that has sort of been on the periphery of things for the last couple of years.
Yeah, last few years as well. He's a dasher. He likes to score quickly. Doesn't tend to score big runs, although he has got a few in the past. But yeah, he tends to play his shots. Goes for the boundaries.
Well, there's another dasher, young Master Lord that we were talking about earlier. We saw him batting at the end of the Nottinghamshire innings, was dismissed for, what was it, 6, just to give himself, no, it was 8, to give himself a first team average, a list A average of 26 from his first 3 visits. Here he comes, got 5 wickets last Sunday, bowls rockets, and the first one is rocketed off the bat away to backward point for 4. Short and wide. Master Dasher Das has put it away for a boundary. Lovely looking shot. On the subject of Lords, Michael Hickman says another couple of great Lords you haven't mentioned yet, Dave. Bob Lord, the chairman of Burnley back in the day. Jack Lord, who played Steve McGarrett in the original Hawaii 5-0. Yeah, Ed Seaborn on was it on Friday? Ed Seaborn was no, it was down at Guildford, where I'm trying to think. No, it wasn't. It was Kevin Howells. Kevin Howells was with us on Friday. He was bringing the name of Steve McGarrett up. This is played to mid-on, and there's no run. 6 without loss.
Chris Lord, a famous Hollywood film director and writer producer.
I don't know him. I know. tells the difference between the two of us and the company we keep. I know Stefan Lord, the dart player, the Swedish dart player, who was a winner of the News of the World and reached the World Championships semi-finals in late 70s, early 80s. This is Rob Lord. Second match at Trent Bridge for him. He bowls now. A little push up to mid-on. Essex was sharp in the field. Notts have got to match it. And the throw from Asib Hamid, narrowly off target, single taken. And just a word on Asib. In fact, that wasn't. That was Matthew Montgomery doing the fielding. So where's the skipper? The skipper's at mid-off. Now, word on Asib Hamid. Each of the last 3 games, he has dropped a catch. And all 3 he would expect to take. And I think probably the watching audience would have expected him to take them, and he put Miles Hammond down on 13, and Hammond got 157 on Friday, so that really was a pivotal moment. Lord bowls, turned on the leg side, but I don't know what it is, whether it's the captaincy and a million things going through his mind, but he spilled a relatively straightforward one at Neath, a relatively straightforward one at Guildford. It was slightly more difficult in that he misjudged it. One was just where he is now, exact same spot that he is now. Miles Hammond was a left-hander, so he chipped it up to him. He's at mid-off now, but on the same spot at mid-on, and it went straight to him, and he must have misjudged the flight, or thought it was either coming quicker or slower to him, but he just stuck up his right hand, and it hit his right hand and dropped to the ground. He had all the time in the world really to get a second hand to it, but these things happen. It's turned to mid-on, and there's no run, so he'll be eager to pouch the first opportunity that comes his way. 2-1-9 is the target, 7 without loss. Rob Lord has 1 ball left in his first over. Hope you've all managed to reboot. Those of you that have been watching on Trent Bridge Live, and hope there's nobody out there that can't get the pictures, so has switched on the sound. Yeah, if you just rebooted. I incurred the wrath of producer Kirsty, telling her I'd got no pictures just as the players were coming back out. A couple of runs here as this is turned behind square. And 2 taken, so Benkenstein on 3, Das on 6. Quiet start, Essex up and running, 9 without loss in pursuit of 219. You fancy for the home supporters, they'll want to see their side making early inroads. They'll probably need at least 2, if not 3 or 4 wickets in the power play before the spinners come on for Essex. Just a comfortable 40 or 50 for none or one, and that will set them well on their way.
Yeah, the other reason they may have switched at the top of the order, because the top order has failed a little bit in this competition so far, so maybe a change at the top is for the best. We'll find out in the next few overs. It's Das on strike. Fletcher continuing from the Radcliffe Road end. Right arm over to the right-handed bat, and he defends into the offside, and there's no run.
There's got to be a Hagen nickname in there for young Master Das, surely. Or is it the Dasher?
Stand away to our left, still sparsely occupied, given the
look at them all at the back.
sun beating down, everyone huddling under the what little cover there is. What's that, 5 rows now? They're down to the back with the shade. A few hardy souls down at the front catching the rays. As Fletcher bounds in, bowls off the back foot. That's cut away through the offside. That gets through. I think that's going to go to the boundary. There's a chase on here for the fielders coming all the way around from third man, and he won't get there. It's cut strips pretty much all the way to the boundary, bar the last 10 yards. And once it gets through those, it's difficult to stop it from going for 4.
Yeah, well, you went and had a wander outside during the interval. How warm is it?
Very warm. I stood in the shade for most of it. Dangerous, the sun these days, even in this country.
Yeah.
Wasn't the warning at the start of the summer that making sure everyone was wearing sun cream the whole time and getting out of the sun for those midday hours between about 12 and 3. It's hot out there.
Mad Dog's an Englishman.
Fletcher in, bowls full, and forward comes Das, defending, back to the bowler, no runs. 13 for no loss in the 3rd over of Essex's chase. 219 is the target. Yeah, it's fairly obvious. The stand that's completely covered is almost, what, 3/4 full, and every other stand that's not covered is pretty much empty. Everyone hiding around the back of the stands. You see it more in subcontinent and warmer countries, shall we say. Here comes Fletcher, bowls full, defended back to the bowler, and there's no run. Stump to stump from Fletcher.
Yeah, and of course on that side of the ground away to our right, you're just a little closer to the action as well, not too far away. Get a bit of elevation there, and if you like watching your cricket sideways on, you can see how far back the keeper is, can see how quickly the ball gets down to the other end.
Fletcher turns at the top of his mark. Green shirt, yellow sleeves, green trousers, up to the stumps. Bowls, and again Das forward, defends into the offside, and there's no run. At
the risk of sounding like an Australian, it's gold, son.
Gold.
My son, it's gold, not yellow. That's the colours anyway, green and gold.
There's a bit of a chat here going on between captain and bowler. Seen something that Das has done there, and it's forced a change in the field. So slip coming out, cover coming in, extra cover moving around to the right hand. In fact, they're moving extra cover over to the leg side, and yep, they're going. So Montgomery is standing pretty much on the cut strip, just slightly about a foot to the right for the straight drive. Very leg sidey field. Guided into the offside, but it can't beat the man at backward point, and there's no run.
Yeah, they've got a plan. It's always nice to have a plan. I'm not sure how much relevance there is in trying to get Luke Benkenstein caught at short mid-on. But it's nice to have a plan anyway, even if it was only for that one delivery. 13 on the board, same stage. Notts had 11. We can keep up to date here at Trent Bridge, as we always say, it right at the bottom of the board. It's not going to rain, we're not going to have any interruptions, etc., etc. But it's always nice just to have a comparison with the DLS par score at the same stage. Well, Essex would need to be more than 6 runs to be ahead, and they are already more than 6 runs ahead. But it is a nice comparison sometimes. Some days it's, it really does bring home where the balance of power lays. I think we know where it is at the moment. Here's Rob Lord to begin his second over. Comes in now, and the right-handed Benkenstein, who wears 99, the same as the Notts skipper, turns this on the leg side. There's no run.
Not quite the swashbuckling start that I'd expected to the Essex innings. Watchful more than anything.
Calvin Harrison was at slip for that one ball. Now he's been taken out from the side of Tom Moores, and he drops in short extra cover, but he's going to be in a stationary catching position about 4 strips away from Master Benkenstein. There's Rob Lord to bowl to him, and turned away off his hip. A nice bread and butter shot for a single out to Jack Haynes. One more to the total. This is where the rest of the Essex side and the coaching staff, well, they'll have been there anyway, will have discovered how inconvenient it is today. They can't, as normal, sit on the balcony at Trent Bridge with the feet up and just watch the cricket unfold in front of them, because black screens are right across in front of the visitors' dressing room and balcony, so they've all had to come out and take a place in the dugouts, huddle together like sardines in a can. As Lord bowls again, and Das just deflects it down to long leg for a single. 15 without loss. It's going to be spin, isn't it? It's going to be all about spin, this. If Notts are going to get anything from this game, they need their spinners to get a stranglehold on the game and just winkle out wickets. If Essex get on top of the spinners, and it's only going one way, and we're going to be done by 5:30 with Essex taking the points on the coach with them. 15 without loss. Lord to Benkenstein. He's got 4, and the short is pulled up in the air. Now there's an opportunity here, right on the boundary, and it's been caught and flicked up in the air by Jack Haynes. Now then, that was very, very close. Notts are celebrating, and I think the umpires are only going to have the word of the fielders to go on. Great work by Haynes. Did he put his foot down? I wonder, but he's going to go, and the dismissal is confirmed. Lovely bit of athleticism. I'm a million miles away. David is a million miles away. My initial thought was maybe there was a foot down, but that would have to be slow mode and everything to accurately portray, and that's not going to happen. You will be seeing now, those of you watching the live stream. And even then, David, I'm not sure.
It's close,
I'm not sure. My first call was that's going to be very, very close, and the umpires might want to have a chat. But he's gone. Benkenstein caught by Jack Haynes from the bowling of Rob Lord. He's got a wicket here at Trent Bridge. That's his first here at Trent Bridge, and Tom Wesley will be the new man. Those of you watching on the live stream, slow it down, have a look, let us know at Brace Cricket or on the email bbcscricket@gmail.com. Well, I don't know. Instinct was not so celebrating, but I just wonder if his foot down. That was instinct whilst the commentary was on. Looking at it again, I just wonder if he had released it just before. But
yeah, tough one to see.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, he's out. That's all that matters. And Essex lose their first wicket. So Tom Wesley, the captain at the crease. First real shot in anger, that one from Benkenstein. You felt that he was getting himself tied down, and that was his get-out shot. Just didn't carry enough. That's probably the deepest, well, definitely the deepest boundary on the field this afternoon. Just didn't have the legs to carry it over for a 6. And if it's been caught cleanly, which the umpires and everyone else thinks it has, that's an excellent effort, because he was right close to the boundary rope as well. Just come back to something I've just thought of in a second. 15 for 1.
So Tom Westley, the Essex skipper, is on strike. Rob Lord is in to bowl. Ooh, it's gone through to Tom Moores. The way he played his bat, and it seemed there was a little bit of a deviation of the ball. I just wondered if he'd nicked it. I'm laughing because 2010, I know that this has got to be no relevance to anybody else in the world except my good chum Martin Emerson, the Durham commentator, and and it always comes up. At Chesterley Street, 2010, Alex Hales on the boundary caught Dale Benkenstein. Exactly similar. This is at Chesterley Street. Rob Lord to come in and bowls, and Wesley's away. He's helped it down to the long leg. I presume there's a fielder down here below us. There is, Lyndon James. Just a single, and it was right in front. Square on, it was right in front of all the Durham supporters, and it was one of those like that. And to this day, if ever the names Benkenstein or Hales are brought up, Emerson will go in one direction and I'll go in another, obviously, just to add a little bit of spice to it. Hales took it exactly what we've just seen here, and 14 years later, young Master Benkenstein has fallen to a Notts fielder on the boundary rope. But we'd love to get some feedback from those of you that we're not able just to slow it down and have a look, which I know you can do if you're watching on the live stream, and you know we've seen a good picture of it, but even then I wasn't sure. Here's Fletcher, there's David Brett,
and he's coming in now from the Radcliffe Road end up to the stumps. That's off the pads, going down the leg side. A big appeal from Luke Fletcher. Only the wicketkeeper half appeal, and Fletcher a stronger appeal. Went for that one, and the umpire says nothing doing. And Tom Westley's the man on strike. Essex 16 for 1 in the 4th over. Sorry, not the 4th over. What over are we in? 5th over.
Near enough.
Okay.
Near enough. Nobody's going to quibble over that.
219 is the target. Fletcher up to the stumps. Ball's full, driven.
Whoa.
Lovely shot down the ground. Shot of the day so far, that one for me. Right past the stumps at the far end, within inches of the stumps at the far end, and you probably just heard the crack against the fence down below. And that's 4 runs. Beautiful shot from the captain. 4 runs for Essex. Score moves to 20 for 1.
It was a really, really nice shot, that. That would have felt good as well, coming off the full face of the bat. Wouldn't have felt so good for Luke Fletcher as the ball fizzed along past him.
First milestone complete. Chase is now down at under 200. It's defended into the offside, and there's no run. A few people still milling about, just getting their lunchtime refreshments. Good day for it. Keep yourself cool. Nottinghamshire dearly would love to get another couple of more wickets in this power play. Remember, just 2 men outside the 30-yard circle. As Fletcher moves in. Bowl's clipped away on the leg side. That's going to be 4. Lovely stroke. Square of the wicket on the leg side. Half volley. Turned into a half volley, really, because Wesley took a couple of steps down the pitch. And the score moves to 24 for 1. The 2 men outside the circle. 3rd man. And deep mid-wicket.
Right, Nottinghamshire correspondents, I know. I've had a look, Dave, at the pictures. Clean take to me, pal. Sheffield Outlaw, incredible. What a fielder he is. Thank you, Sheffield Outlaw. There's a few more.
Fletcher moving in again. Wesley on strike. That one's clipped off the pads. It's going to be 4 more. Just lost his line there, Fletcher. And that was an easy 4 down towards that really short boundary. Backward a square on the leg side. Score moves to 28 for 1.
Outlaw Chris, fair catch, Dave. But then, yin and yang.
Here we go.
Dan, looks pretty clear, Dave, that he stood on the rope, or beg your pardon, that he trod on the rope when he had the ball in his hand. He slowed it down. I've slowed it down. Looked clearly a 6 for me. Shame as Benkenstein walked previously early this season for a dismissal, so probably deserves good spirit more than anyone. Thank you, Dan.
Fletcher in full, and that's going to be another. No, it's not. I thought it was straighter than that. It's gone a bit square off thickish inside edge down towards deep mid-wicket for a single. 29 for 1, and that's the end of the over. Profitable one for Essex.
It was indeed, and Wesley's made a
13
power-packed start. Yep, he's not been at the crease for too long, and already is well on his way. Already overtaken Robin Das. Wesley 14, Das 11. I don't know if you've had any correspondence in. Naturally, those that I would get would say he's out. Definitely, he's out. You know,
I presume the last message you got was from an Essex fan.
Well, it's from LOFC, which I presume is Leyton Orient, which gave me a feeling that it might be somebody in that part of the world. The O's. There's Rob Lord. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy! He's bowled Wesley with a jaffer. Saw one of those earlier in the day when the Nottinghamshire skipper lost his off stump to pace, and now Tom Wesley goes. Rob Lord sends that off stump pole vaulting out of the ground, and Essex have lost 2 in the power play.
Yeah, well, he burned bright, did Tom Wesley, just not for too long. Snuffed out there by an excellent delivery from Lord, and again the off stump cartwheeling out the ground, the bails landing about 20 yards back behind the stumps.
Where does that leave us? 29 for 2.
Yeah, it's
200 or so required. It's Essex's to lose this, because if they bat 50 overs they win. If they bat 40 overs they win. Notts need to bowl them out, but they're a fifth of the way there. Noah Fane coming in at 4.
Yeah, interesting. They're really mixing up this order now.
I don't know about Dan. There was the answer which I was just about to give you, but he calls himself LOFC Dan, and I know it's not in Essex, but Leyton Orient not too far away. But your views are very, very well received, Dan. 29 for 2.
Either way, he's still out, and Essex are on the back foot here. 29 for 2. I think they've recognised this pitch is quite tough to score, and they're trying to get ahead of the run rate. But at the moment, they're not doing it.
I'm just wondering what Notts are going to get, or what they're thinking about Rob Lord. 5 for 30 at Surrey, none for 70 here on Friday, and here 2 for 10, and he's bowling with good pace. It's not often Tom Wesley would get his off stump knocked out the ground, sent cartwheeling like that. He's a fabulous player. He's scored lots of runs on this ground, big runs as well. 29 for 2. Lord to the new man, Fane. Bouncer. Phil Mustard says it's okay.
Lots of encouragement from the teammates.
Nigel King, again, a Notts regular. Thank you, Nigel, for getting in touch. Brilliant catch initially. Did look to me like the fielder's foot was on the ropes about the time he tossed it up again. Hard to be 100% sure. Milliseconds either way. That's a nicely balanced view, Nigel. That's how I saw it in real time. I wondered if he'd touched. When I saw the replay, I wondered if it had been, as you say, just a millisecond correct. This is past the outside edge and through into the orange booted gloves of Tom Moores. 29 for 2.
He's bowling quick, Lord.
He is. This is it's one of the things that Notts liked about him. He's been very impressive on the national counties circuit with Cheshire this season. Lots of wickets, lots of good reports coming back about the pace at which he bowls, and to almost literally be thrust from that level of cricket into playing in front of this size of crowd. This one's drilled back to him, and I like that as well. He's got a bit about him. He fielded off his own bowling and was ready to throw the ball back angrily towards Noah Fane, but was advised to hang on to it. Spoke last Sunday at Guildford about the impact that having Luke Fletcher alongside him for all of his spell. Actually, Fletch bowled first, and then Rob Lord came on as first change. He's in again now and bowls, and another good delivery. This time he's sharing the bowling with Fletcher, so Fletcher at this end of the ground, he can't stand next to him. But he did say down at Guildford it was really useful to run in against the likes of Dominic Sibley and Rory Burns and Ben Folkes, Test players, and at least have Luke Fletcher there just keep having a word and assuring him that what he was doing was right, and he ended up demolishing those and the rest of the middle order for a fine 5 for 29 for 2. Final ball of the 6th over. Lord bowls. Noah Fain yet to get off the mark, plays it on the leg side, and Trent Bridge rises to a new favourite here. Essex 29 for 2 after 6.
Wicket maiden. Excellent work from Rob Lord. Essex trying to find a way out of this. Wesley has played a few shots but ended up losing his off stump. David T says, I've just burst into applause, sat on the sofa. What a delivery from the good Lord. Yes, it's going to be. It's a sub-editor's dream surname, isn't it, Lord? When you turn in a performance, and a commentator's. Fletcher coming in now, past the umpire, up to the stumps. Bowls, and that's just turned away to the leg side. Thane starts to come down the wicket, but sent back, and there's no run. Target is 219. Essex 29 for 2. Pass score at the end of this over would be 46, so Essex well behind at this stage. Fletcher turns to moving again. He's up to the stumps now. Bowls full. Squares up. Das a little bit there. Ball squirts out on the offside. There's no run.
Luke Fletcher, I don't know if you're aware, in this part of the world there's a suburb of Nottingham called Bulwell where he comes from. He's for many years he's had the nickname the Bulwell Bomber. Most famous man from Bulwell, but over the last few years he's shared that accolade with a young lady who won an Olympic medal in Tokyo. Emily Campbell from Bulwell in Nottinghamshire has just won a bronze medal for England in the weightlifting. Same place as Fletch. Well done, Bulwell.
Congratulations, as Fletcher is in again, and Das just gets the bat down on the ball in time as it was arrowing towards his pads, and there's no run into the leg side. 29 for 2.
KM's just sent me the video. We've seen it, KM, but you've not put any comment as to what you think. I'm not a clever man. I don't know if he's released that before his foot's touched the rope or not. And the umpires wouldn't have known, and Luke Benkenstein wouldn't have known, and in all probability Jack Haynes wouldn't have known. And it's one of those, isn't it? He might have got a bad decision, he might have got a good decision. As
Fletcher moves in again, and that's cut off the back foot. That's going to run down towards third man. It should just be a single, I think. I like they're going to come back for a second run. The throw's got to be good here. He's going to be tight. Oh, he's called in. Yeah. No appeals from the Nottinghamshire players. Tight second run, 31 for 2.
That was Jack Haynes doing the fielding again. He's involved, it's fair to say.
I think had the fielder would have known if he'd touched the ropes. The thing he wouldn't have known is whether he released the ball in time. Yeah. And to him, he would have thought he'd put the ball up in the air before his foot hit the ropes.
Yeah.
31 for 2. Das on 13 off 15. Thane yet to score. Fletcher in, pulled away to the leg side, doesn't time it, and mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket will filled. Just be a single. 32 for 2.
I guess if, like with LBWs, if there's doubt, you can't give it out. It's a really, really difficult one, isn't it? I hope, on the very occasional day I somehow get my arm twisted around my back to stand an umpire. I hope I'm never in that sort of scenario.
Are you workshopping some catchphrases? If in doubt, you can't give it out.
Well,
as Fletcher bowls, carved way through the offside. Lovely shot. That's going to be 4. No need to run for that one. Through the covers, 36 for 2.
Do we still encourage the old throwback to the game as it used to be? Take the fielder's word for it. Did he catch it clean? Yes. As far as I'm concerned, I caught it clean.
Well, I think especially in this competition, right? Because you just don't have all the camera angles to satisfy it. So absolutely, if he hasn't caught it, and celebrate if he has.
Although whoever was on the camera that did manage to get the catch, brilliant work. And I just wonder, we're at the end of the Producer Kirsty's going to hate me for this. This is the end of the 7th over. I just wonder if it's possible, if you're listening and you've not got 5 million other jobs on hand, which I know you have. I wonder if at the end of the next over, the end of the 8th, we could perhaps, if you have got the replay of it still there, slow-mo, perhaps we could just have another look. It's not going to change anything at all, but just nice to see it again. As Rob Lord from the Stuart Broad end bowls short, pulled away onto the leg side out to Jack Haynes. Ben Slater did the same right in front of the Hollis stand, and it was a packed Hollis stand on a hot day. Ben Slater did exactly the same, caught it, falling back, knew where the rope was, flicked it up in the air and caught it. Very, very similar. However many were in the Hollis stand, 4,000 or 5,000 to a man, where they were going absolutely stupid. They were really giving Ben Slater it and the umpires, but it was given out. Here's Lord. I'll come back to it. Faines on 4 on strike. Always hit him on the pad and asking, but it pulled out of the appeal. Must have been going down the leg side. And Luke Fletcher was in this competition, so they were rotating the side, rotating the bowlers. Luke Fletcher was on drinks. He was 12th man, and he went and sat down between the boundary, between the rope where Ben Slater was fielding and the Hollis stand. He went and sat there, and any time anybody shouted anything, he sort of turned around. If you're taking my mate on, you're taking me on, to bring a little bit of fun and levity to it, and he really diffused the situation wonderfully. Lord in again. He's looked a handful here, 37 for 2.
Unlike the Hollis stand to get carried away.
Well, that is the stuff of nightmares for me. I'd rather not go to a finals day than be given a ticket, certainly not pay for a ticket to go in the Hollis stand, but to given a ticket. Do you want to come to finals day, Dave? And yeah, we're in the Hollis stand. No, never, ever, 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 ever. I've been to Edgbaston too many times and seen it. The same with the Western Terrace or Western Stand at Headingley. Bouncer. This might be too high. No. Again, Phil Mustard from Square Leg indicates that it's just about right. 37 for 2. Beep from somebody's phone. It might be mine. I have to leave it on just in case we drop off air and people say you're off air. Who's this? Producer Kirsty. So at the end of the over, which is in 2 balls time, they're going to run the pictures that they've got of it, and Kirsty says big shout out for cameraman Spence, who managed to get the pictures. This is driven away for 4. Nice looking shot from Noah Thane, who's an immense talent, perhaps not yet delivered the volume of runs that Essex are hoping for, but they'll come, and maybe they'll come in this innings. Nice shot, 41 for 2. Played that nicely, didn't he?
Yeah.
So after this next delivery, at some point at the end of this over, producer Kirsty will run the pictures again. I don't know who's going to tell us, but it was just... We have to keep talking for about 8-9 hours, don't we, David? We might as well have another little look at it to say, well, I'm not sure, because that's what I'm going to say. 41 for 2. Fane is on 8. Rob Laws bowls to him, and it's not going to be the end of the over because it's a no ball. So we saw this in the Notts innings, didn't we? We saw a no ball from the final ball of an over, and then the next one got smashed away for 4 or 6. So a chance here for Essex to get some bonus runs at the end of this over. 43 for 2 and a free hit.
Yep. Short boundaries on the offside for Noah Thane.
Can't change the field either, can they?
No. Lord, got to be looking to bowl straight here, no width.
See what he can do. Can't get him out. Oh,
it's
a short bouncer, yeah. It's gone through to the keeper, and that's fine. So 43 for 2. After 8 is the score. Both wickets to Rob Lord. Eyes on our monitor.
Here we go. Here comes the replay.
You tell me what you see here.
So, Lord running in. Benkenstein hooks it away into the leg side. Catch is cleanly taken. Oh, I think he steps on it. It's just whether he... I think he definitely steps on the rope. It's just whether he's released it out of his hand and chucked it up in time. I think there's no doubt that he stepped on the rope there. Yeah. But it's whether he gets it out of his hand in time. That's just the difficult thing to tell. Agree or disagree?
That's exactly what I would say. Yeah. I can't tell, and I'm not... I'm not going...
His toe is definitely on the rope.
Yeah.
It's just whether he's got the ball out of his hand in time.
Yeah. I was, in commentary in real time, I was about to say he stepped on the ring. He was claiming the catch. But this is interesting. 8 overs gone, and Notts are taking pace off Liam Patterson-White, and this is going to be a crucial phase.
Yeah, I think Essex have got to attack this. 43 for 2. Das on 15 off 17. Thane 8 off 12. Das off the back foot just pushes it into the offside. They think about coming through for a single. It's a good bit of fielding there at cover. Who's that, Dave?
It might be Harris. No, it's Freddie McCann.
Freddie McCann just preventing the single.
No, it's not. It's Harrison. I beg both their pardons for getting them wrong.
Patterson-White, left arm round, bowls. Oh, it takes the edge. There's no slip in there. It's going to run down past the wicketkeeper down towards a very, very fine third man. Keeps him to a single. It's 44 for 2.
So where is McCann? But he's out on the deep wicket, mid-wicket boundary.
Just grazing out there. People starting to return to their seats. Kids milling about. There's a couple of kids there in 100 shirts, I notice. Patterson-White in bowls, and Thane covers up, and there's no run. 44 for 2. Target is 219. Essex require 175. We're in the 9th over. Patterson-White bowls Fuller, defends back to the bowler, and there's no run. It feels like this is roughly where Nottinghamshire were themselves after around about 10 overs.
Yeah, well, 41 for 1.
There you go. So Essex slightly ahead, but they've lost one more wicket. White comes in again. Patterson-White comes in, and Thane just drops the bat down in time as it was arrowing into his pads.
Whereas Essex got out, Gloucestershire, I beg your pardon, on Friday got out of the block so quickly. They were 80 for none in next to no time, and 115 the first wicket went, and you felt the game was over already at that stage.
Slip in, Patterson-White bowls, and backing onto his stumps, Thane just guys out to the offside. Good start from Patterson-White. I think it's just the one run off the over. Essex 44 for 2 after 9.
Notts need to win, and they need also to beat Warwickshire at Rugby School on Wednesday. They could do with a hand. Need Leicestershire to lose one of their games, and they're playing Glamorgan today. Leicestershire made 271 with a century from Hanscom. Glamorgan are 40 for 2 after 9. So Glamorgan with some batting still to come. Sam North East and Colin Ingram have got a century against Notts down at Neath last week. They're still to come. 44 for 2 after 9, and it's going to be young Master Lord comes in and bowls. This is cut to backward point, and there's no run. Haircut not too dissimilar to Shane Snater's, and I hope I'm not insulting or complimenting either of them. It's a shock of dark hair in his own distinctive style. But
I've asked this before. Has this all come about because of Peaky Blinders?
Hey, now then you've completely. If you don't know, if you're not going to indulge me when I talk about Pans, People and Legs and Co, I've no idea what Peaky Blinders is other than something with flat caps. 44 for 2 in the 10th over. Never watched it. No idea. Don't know. Do you?
I've only ever seen one series of Peaky Blinders. Didn't really appeal to me, but very well liked. And I think that's where it comes from. I think a few people had mullets in that.
No, not seen 30 seconds of it. 10th over in progress. This one's short again from Rob Lord. He's not averse to banging in short, and you can imagine there's a great deal of the pace has been taken out of this wicket with, well, plenty of hot sunshine on it and over 150 overs on it now.
Well, he appears to bowl the slower ball bouncing really well, because Essex just aren't picking it at the moment.
I think on a really pacey track he's going to be a handful. That's what we're hoping that anyway. 44 for 2. Midway through the 10th, comes in past umpire Harris, bowls, and there's a thickish edge which would have flown to second slip had there been one there, but of course there isn't, and it's gone down to third somewhere below us for 4, and it's been fielded by Ben Martindale, who is on as 12th man. Now Luke Fletcher was standing there until recently, so I presume Ben's on and Fletcher's gone for a comfort break.
By hook or by crook, they're getting some runs here, Essex. It's not been entirely.
Martindale from Rob Lord, and sooner or later they're going to say that's too many. And when it becomes too many, it becomes a problem. 48 for 2, 1 ball left in the power play overs. Already seen 1 over of spin from Liam Patterson-White. Not so stacked full of pace off merchants with the leg spinner Calvin Harrison, a couple of other off spinners in Freddie McCann and Matthew Montgomery. It's even Ben Slater is bowled in this competition as an off spinner. 48 for 2. Next ball is cut to backward point, no run. There is LPW doing the fielding. So end of the power play. 48 for 2 is the Essex score. Notts making 218, so 171 are required from 40.
Well, if they do decide to unleash their full arsenal of spinners, then if Essex can't get the ball to the boundary, they'll find those overs whittling down very quickly, and suddenly the pressure will build, which will be Nottinghamshire's hopes.
The side most likely to get a victory today are Worcestershire. Hampshire 164 all out. Worcestershire 97 without loss. They were second and third in the other group at start of play this morning. It's very much as if Worcestershire are going to lay down a statement victory over Hampshire. If they were to finish second in that group and Notts were to finish third, Notts would go to Worcester next Friday.
Patterson-White continues from the Radcliffe Road end. Left arm round to the right-handed Thane. There's no run. Das keen to take a single there, but Thane, early call, said no. Das and Thane just having a little bit of word with each other here. Patterson-White in, 22 on his back. Bowls onto the pads of Thane. They will take a single this time. Throw at the stumps, and Thane comfortably in. And there's a run to the total. 49 for 2. Into the 11th over of Essex's chase. 219 the target. Run rate's not too bad at the moment. 4.75 is roughly where they need to be.
It's not going to be an issue, is it? The run rate. I don't think Notts have got to bowl Essex out. Essex bat 50 overs, they win. Patterson-White in again, turned into the leg side. Just be a single, short boundary, so not too far to come from the man at deep backward square leg. One run to the total, 50 up for Essex. Yeah, that's the subfielder Martindale. He's the only one in the floppy sun hat, and he's the only outfielder again in the fluorescent footwear, along with Tom Moores, the wicket keeper. His dad used to play for Notts, Duncan Martindale. Patterson-White in, bowls flatter. Forward comes Thane, defending into the offside. Not too many aggressive strokes so far from Thane. 9 off 18, 2 of those were boundaries. So only 3 scoring shots out of 18. Bowls again does Patterson, and forward comes Thane, just happy to defend back down the pitch. And there's no run. Just wonder how difficult it will become. Martindale, beg your pardon, Montgomery, the only half centurion today, and he got to 52, and sure you'll agree he found it a little hard. Yeah, quicker, flatter, and Thane just gets the back down on the ball in time before it thuds into the pads. End of the over, fielded into the leg side, no run. 50 for 2. Essex require, well, the target is 219, but they require 169. Yeah, I don't think they'll get too many gifts off Liam Patterson-White. He's bowled 2 overs for 3, and already at the start of his spell you suspect he's going to be a handful. Going to be Lyndon James with a continuation of pace on at the far end. Is by no means anywhere near as quick as Rob Lord, but there was the opportunity again to bring on one of the spinners at the far end. But it's Lyndon James, his last game for Notts before he goes off on England Lions duty against Sri Lanka. Starts on Wednesday, a 4-day game. Nice accolade for him. He's been involved with the Lions before, but it's always good to see that your name is still very much being thought of and discussed in selections. It's gone through to the keeper. That kept low, didn't it? Das trying to pull a ball away on the leg side. Where it pitched, you would have thought that's the right length to pull, but it just scuttled along the ground through to the keeper. Apologies, I forgot I'm not only supposed to be watching, I'm supposed to be talking about the game as well. 50 for 2.
Real struggle to strike the ball cleanly on this pitch, isn't it?
It's becoming increasingly difficult. And Harris is the umpire. And Dasher Das blocks another one. Remains 21 not out. The wickets to go down. Both taken by Rob Lord. Benkenstein caught on the leg side boundary amidst much discussion and furore. He made 4, and then Tom Westley, who was quickly blocks, raised to 14 and then lost his off stump to Rob Lord. New signing for Notts from Cheshire. This one's cut by Das down to 3rd, and Luke Fletcher emerges to throw the ball back in on the bounce to Tom Moores. For 2, the target 219. It's Ed Pollock who's quickly out of the blocks for Worcestershire. He's 65 not out from 55 balls. Little fiddle outside the off stump from Noah Fain there. He just sort of felt towards the ball without really committing to it and could so easily have nicked it. Worcestershire 99 without loss on course, but Ed Pollock gets a lot of noughts, but occasionally he'll weigh in with a huge score. He's made one big one of 180 already in this season's competition. 51 for 2. It's Lyndon James bowls again. Oh, and that's a stroke of fortune for Noah Fain. Inside edging it past his leg stump down to long leg. It's had all sorts of names over the years, that shot. Harrow cut, Chinese cut, French cut and all sorts of things, but a little bit of fortune off the inside edge past the sticks. 52 for 2. Tom Moore's all on his own with no friends, no close catches, nobody anywhere near him. Lyndon James bowls. In fact, the closest player to him is Liam Patterson-White at point, where he fields that, and it's the end of the over. 52 for 2. Decent introduction from Lyndon James, just 2 from the over. 52 for 2. At the same stage, Notts were 51 for 1. So runs absolutely parallel. Essex have lost a wicket more.
Well, from what we've seen so far, I think it's fair to say that the chase isn't going to be a simple one here. Even if we think the Outlaws maybe underscored in the first innings. I mean, Noah Fain really has struggled to get bat on ball.
Yeah.
He's on strike at the moment. Patterson-White at the top of his mark. He can have a slip in as well, which is recognition that it's tough to score on. And Patterson-White, left arm round to the right-handed Thane, who plays off the back foot into the offside. Oh, sneak a single in there as it beats the man at extra cover. Goes out wide of mid-off, who runs round to field. 1 to the total, 53 for 2.
Yeah, so we've seen all 3 seamers in the Notts lineup today already. Brett Hutton not playing.
Patterson-White in again, flatter as Das comes forward. Big stride in and defends into the offside, and there's no run.
But potentially just one of 4 spinners that could be used.
Patterson-White turns at the top of his mark. Just manoeuvring the field here, I think. And he's in now. Bowls again off the back foot, forced away by Das, but he can't beat the fielder, and there's no run.
So where do you think we'll go next? Because Nick Brown and Feroz Kouchi on the scorecards on the ground, and my bit of paper were at the top of the order. We've not seen either of them yet.
I'd probably expect Feroz Kouchi to come in. And this one's cracked away, backward a square on the offside. There's a chase for the fielder down at deep cover. They're going to come back for a second run. They are. The throw is loopy, to say the least, and they get back comfortably for a second run. Flatter, that might have been a bit of an issue.
I think they'd just to run a bit quicker if they could see the throw coming in flat out.
I suppose the problem is the fielder down on the deep, they had to run round and throw it right-handed.
Yeah, it's Jack Haynes down there.
Off balance, 56 for 2. Das on strike, forward, defensively into the offside, and there's no run.
Wicket-keeper Fernandez, is he renowned for his batting prowess?
I mean, I've only seen him bat once.
Yeah, he looked still early in his career.
Yeah, he looked fairly decent, but I think Feroz Kouchi would be the next man in. Patson White bowls, and again forward comes Das. Essex struggling here, 55 for 2. Runs have definitely slowed up. Will they go spin at both ends?
I definitely think at some stage he's going to be spin at both ends, and Lyndon James has only had the one over and that went for 2, so no surprise to see him advancing towards the umpire with cap in hand. He's not necessarily overs that Asiba Mead is just getting out of the way. We'll soak up a few overs with Lyndon James. I mean, he is on because he's a talented youngster and he's as capable as anybody of picking up 1, 2 or 3 wickets fairly quickly. But this stage of the game, very much a holding pattern from Hamid and the Outlaws as Lyndon James bowls again. Played with control by Fain, down to Fletcher. He again hurls it in on the bounce, which is obviously deliberate because Luke Fletcher could have thrown that twice the distance that he did. Umpires tend to jump all over it if they think it's deliberate, and they certainly don't like it to bounce twice before reaching the keeper. Can always be a firm ticking off for the offender. James, tall man, bowls cut away and work for Fletcher. In fact, he's not even moved. Luke Fletcher gone for 4. Not that he had any chance of cutting that off, it was just cracked away. Nice shot, too much width offered. And Essex into the 60s, 60 for 2.
Yeah, too wide from the bowler, pounced upon by the batsman, and a welcome boundary as well for Essex.
Lovely looking shot. One word from me and that gets rid of Ed Pollock of Worcestershire. He's been dismissed for 67, 104 for 1, but Worcestershire well on their way to defeating Hampshire. Lyndon James in again, turned nicely square of the wicket on the leg side by Das, gets a single. He's on 29, just starting to pick up the tempo a little bit. Essex 61 for 2. One good partnership could very well break the run chase here, set them well on their way. Liam Patterson White, 3 overs for 6. Has already shown though that there's not going to be many runs from this end, or you wouldn't expect many runs from this end over the next few overs. Lyndon James bowls and Noah Fain blocks it. There's no addition to the total.
He's got a decent setup, Noah Fain. Good defence. Essex require 158 to win.
The board tells us from 218 balls, 36.2 overs in case you were asking. James bowls again and mistimed punch into the offside, fielded by Calvin Harrison.
Yeah, you see what he was trying to do there, just trying to sneak it between that gap between extra cover and mid-off. Just didn't quite time it, quite late down on the bat.
Calvin Harrison, I think it's the first time I've seen him really hit for quite a lot of runs in a match in his 3-4 years now with Notts. 1 for 74 on Friday. As I say, he's had a month with no cricket. Lyndon James bowls short and mistimed. Paul's going to bring a run to Noah Fain. give you a little bit more description in a second when the ball goes dead. Okay, it was short of a length from Lyndon James, maybe pace off. Fane was through on the pull shot. He'd seen how short it was and thought he was going to pull it away square of the wicket, and toe-ended it back down the carpet, and it clattered into the stumps at the far end and deflected away from the fielder and away, and they stole a single. So a little bit of bizarre cricket, crazy cricket. 62 for 2, the end of the over. So 7 from that one just gets Essex up and running again after a couple of very meagre overs before then.
Yeah, they'll take the runs any way they can get them at the moment. Patterson White in around the wicket, bowls off the back foot that punched away. It beats the man at extra cover. It was hit firmly, go down as a misfield, I think, but it was powerfully struck by Noah Thane. A single to the total, 63 for 2.
Yeah, it's a couple that have just squeezed their way under the body of the diving Calvin Harrison, tied it up by Lyndon James.
Patterson White pulls out of his run-up and starts again. Around the wicket to the right-handed Das. Das off the back foot, tries to find the gap between backward point and deep. Sorry, sort of short third man and deep backward point, but he picks out the man at third man.
Yes, Captain Hasib Hamid there got a second ball duck earlier. Lost his off stump.
63 for 2. Patterson White in again. That's pushed out into the offside, this time in front of square. That's given a single down towards deep point. 64 for 2.
Partnership 35. It's developing nicely.
155 required for victory. So turned away into the leg. Played late by Thane, a single to the total. He goes to 15. 65 for 2.
I wonder if there's a case right now. Clearly the skipper doesn't think so, but I just wonder if there's a case for bringing an extra man or two inside the ring when Patterson White's bowling and just make these singles harder to come by.
And he's in again. Oh, it takes a leading edge. Das trying to turn it into the leg side. It ends up down at just behind square on the offside. And a run to the total. 66 for 2.
You can't plug all the gaps, but just occasionally it's a case of just drop it and run, and an easy single.
4 runs off the over so far as Patterson White winds up again. Bowls and driven straight back down the ground. There should be a fielder down there at long off. And there is, so it will just be a single. 1 to the total, 67 for 2, and that is the end of the 15th over.
Yeah, comparison on the board at the same stage. Notts was 70 for 1 after 15. But DLS says to be on course, on target, you need to have more than 61, and comfortably there, 67 for 2 here on BBC Radio Nottingham, BBC Essex this Sunday afternoon with David Brett, myself, Dave. Coverage from the BBC with just one round of matches left for each of these sides on Wednesday. All be decided, the top 3 in each group. Winner goes straight forward to the semi-final, which is a week today. Lyndon James bowls, and this is run away behind square by Noah Fane. Neither of these sides will be hosting a semi-final, that's for sure. Essex can't qualify. Notts need to win both their final 2 games, and could do with Leicestershire losing one of theirs. And they play Glamorgan today. And Glamorgan really they're guaranteed a safe passage, but they're still playing to try and top the group. Glamorgan is 64 for 2, chasing 272. And then Leicestershire play Gloucestershire, who've got an outside chance of going through if Notts lose. So this is cut to backward point and fielded by Luke Fletcher. 69 for 2. Ground looks a picture, as it always does when the sun's shining and people are in. We've commented on 1 or 2 bare patches that are inevitable this time of year. Signs that we have had a few days of prolonged sunshine. James bowls, and Noah Fane almost drawn into something that he would have regretted. Just chase that one a little bit. Spectators that are here, I hope they've had a good day. not been out into the concourses and the car parks to see what exactly is there in terms of entertainment for the youngsters, but promised all sorts of things. I'm sure there's lots of ice creams and lots of drinks being sold as Lyndon James bowls again, and this time Noah Fane leaves his crease, comes dancing down, misses it. It kept low as it goes through to Tom Moores.
I think that's a bit of frustration from Noah Fane, just trying to make something happen, create something out of nothing.
Yes, he's 17 from 34. Robin Das has weathered one or two quiet spells. He's 32 from 41, just increased the tempo a little bit. Das opened the innings. As James in again, and once more Fane can only push it to LPW at point. There's no run.
Yeah, that's a required rate and current run rate now just starting to collide, basically at level pegging.
Lyndon James to conclude his third over, figures of none for 11. There's elasticated sleeves on each arm. Ball's now and again wide-ish, gone through. Tom Moores can't take it cleanly, but the ball doesn't run away. There's no damage that will ensue. 69 for 2 after 16. Out there in the middle at the same stage, Notts had 75 on the board as Robin Das just receives a towel and a change of gloves and a drink from the Essex 12th man. 69 for 2 after 16 here at Trent Bridge as we get a burst of music and the end of the over. A little bit of movement in the crowd. I'll just pop and get a couple of drinks at the end of the over. So off they go. Seaberme's just had a word with Luke Fletcher. I wouldn't have thought he was contemplating bringing Fletch back right now. I'd just keep Liam Patterson going here from this end. 4 overs, none for 11. If it, what is it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
150 off 204 balls doesn't sound a big ask, but clearly this pitch just causing a few issues for the batsman as Patterson White comes in, bowls, and that's defended down towards short third man. Patterson White doing a job for his team here. 4 overs, no maidens, just 11 runs on the board. Bowling really miserly. Essex can't find a way to get him away yet. So Das this time sort of opens up with the drive, checks it, opens the face of the bat and runs it to third man. There's no run there either.
Sixers haven't been a feature of this particular contest. There are 3 in the Notts innings.
Patterson White in off the back foot. Guys, it's square of the man at third man, but it can only get through for a single. 70 for 2.
Couple for Tom Moores towards the second half of the innings. One early on from Ben Slater.
It's all the more surprising given how short that boundary is, but it's hard to get away off this wicket. Big sweep this time. It's probably come off the gloves, is it, for a single down to... Oh, there's a misfield. Oh, that should have been a comfortable stop and a single. So Essex has now gone for 4 down at deep fine leg.
County bowling, national county fielding from Rob Lord, I'm afraid. That should have been stopped, and you know, yeah, all right, they've got 1, might have come back, they might have pushed hard for 2, but to make a bit of a fumble right on the boundary edge and let it be 4 is a real shame. And first boundary off Patterson White's bowling.
74 for 2, driven down the ground. That's going to go towards long on for a single. 75 for 2. Patterson White won't be happy as well. Slightly ruined his figures there.
Yeah.
6 off the over so far. 1 delivery, 1 legal delivery left. Sun just dipped behind a cloud. A few clouds building up, but we're absolutely fine. There's going to be no chance of rain. Flat by Patterson White, defended into the offside by Das, and that is the end of the over. That's 17 overs gone. Essex is 75 for 2. They require another 144 for victory.
Yes, you can tell that Liam Patterson White's not overly enamoured by that concession of a boundary from Rob Lord. It's all part of the learning curve, I guess. Luke Fletcher's found some friends down below us, waving his arms around and getting them involved. Very animated out on the field. If he can find some people to talk to close to the boundary edges, is all the happier. 75 for 2. Lyndon James will continue. I would have thought it'd be too much longer before we see Calvin Harrison. And again, that would be another pivotal moment when we have spin at both ends. Expect that will happen. 75 for 2. Here comes James. 3 overs none for 11 to him as well. And once, just from the not they do, but today they definitely are doing, as it's the family fun day. So there'll be plenty of that on the field at the end of the day. Another opportunity for the mums and the dads to get dragged onto the outfield to have a little bit of cricket. 18th over in progress. Lyndon James for Notts bowls to Noah Fane of Essex, who guides this down on an angle of 45 down to third to Luke Fletcher. Bounces the ball in again to Tom Moores. 76 for 2. In the right direction at the moment. Rob Lord with both wickets to fall. Both from the Stuart Broad end, where Lyndon James is now bowling from, and in again, and Robin Das turns it on the leg side. Both Haynes and Lord come in, and it's Lord with the throw. And again, I wonder if there should have been 2 there. It was good running, but Lord and Haynes between them just couldn't get to the ball quickly enough. And couple takes Das to 49. Fielders have gone back, and we saw the importance of Jack Haynes being right on the rope for his catch. I guess you can't have it both ways, as James is in again, and this will be the 50 partnership brought up for the Essex 3rd wicket, with Das running it down to 3rd man.
Some might say literally on the rope.
Yeah, that's you can't have it both ways. You can't tell your fielders to stay out on the rope, stay out there deep and save the boundaries, and then at the same stage want them to be in 10 yards to save the potential 2. So sometimes you win some, you lose some. James to Fane, strikes him above the knee roll. Lyndon James with 8 wickets in this season's competition. Didn't bowl against Gloucestershire on Friday. I'm not entirely sure why. 6 other bowlers used, and did look as if something different was needed. It certainly wouldn't have hurt anyone for Lyndon James to have come into the attack and had a wide, unless he was nursing a niggle. Doesn't necessarily make all that much sense that he couldn't bowl on Friday and he's running in today. Fane, I thought it was above the knee roll. It might just have been a little bit higher there, because he's gulping in whatever air he can get at the moment, just into his lungs, and Robin Das came back to see he was okay. He's cut this away for 4. It always happens, doesn't it, after either a drop catch or a misfield or an injury. The next ball's cut away for 4. Nice looking shot. 50 partnership has come and gone. They're on to 54 now. 83 for 2 after 18.
Yeah. Slightly higher and a bit more central, he took that.
Yeah, that sort of region.
Had an email in about the Pans people.
The Pans people.
So picking up on Pans people, I think Babs is the wife of actor Robert Powell.
That's right, yeah. Yes. Now, Robert Powell played Jesus Christ in that very successful series. Now, this has got to be a while ago, hasn't it? Crikey, when was that? Was that in the 90s or the 2000s?
Stephen also asks, is the current Notts Lord related to Gordon Lord of Warwick?
We understand not. Unless there's some, relatives and relatives. We don't think so.
Okay, Patterson White coming round the wicket to Das, who just damps the ball out to the offside. There's no run. 83 for 2. Brian's been in touch as well. He's not happy with Essex's batting, so probably a good move to have Brown coming in lower down the order. But in general, Essex's batting in all formats this season has been average. Patterson White in bowls off the back foot this time. Can't beat the man at cover, who's diving to his left-hand side. There's no run. Just wringing his right hand out there. Good stop, saves a run. 83 for 2 at the moment. Back foot guided away, tries to beat the man at backward point. Lots of diving going on out. 53 for 2. Patterson 5.3 overs, 0 for 17. Patterson comes in again to Das. Cracks one away through the offside, but deep cover will field. Just be a single. 84 for 2.
Calvin Harrison loosening up that shortish extra cover. Might be time for the leg spinner.
How deep can Essex take this? Pushed away into the covers again by Thane this time. Exactly the same shot, exactly the same outcome. One run to the total, 85 for 2.
Yeah, they're comfortably ahead of the DLS score at the bottom of the board there. 69 is where that has them at this stage of the contest.
Patterson White in again, flatter off the back foot. This time it's backward square.
We've lost it. Yeah.
Sorry, deep cover running around again. Try to get back for a second, but nothing doing. Over a dot ball to finish. 86 for 2. BBC Essex Cricket at gmail.com if you want to get in touch with us, or Twitter. Dave, what's your Twitter handle?
At Brace Cricket.
Brace Cricket.
If you want to get in touch, it is going to be Calvin Harrison. Just looking at a couple of things there. I mentioned it right at the start of the day that this isn't a fixture that's been blessed by good weather the last twice, that it should have been staged 2011 and 2007. That's how long ago the last two fixtures were for here that Notts would have hosted, and both were washed away. And the previous one, Essex won, that was in 2005, when somebody by the name of Darren Gough took 4 for 16. So the last time Essex won here, Darren Gough 4 for 16. The last time Notts won a List A match here against Essex, 2000, when Jason Gallion, who went on to play for Essex, was the top score with 41 not out. So it's a while since, well, all around, it's a while since these sides was scheduled to play here. 2011, but that wasn't played due to rain. 2007 wasn't played due to rain. 2005 Essex won, and the time before that 2000 Notts won. Here is the talented Calvin Harrison, the leg spinner, to bowl to Robin Das, who's on 38, and first ball tossed up there and hit out into the offside for a single. 87 for 2. So 5 wickets earlier in the day for Jamal Richards, which is good news for him, bad news for everybody else, because it does mean that Don Topley's 6 for 33 is still the best Essex figures against Notts. So I guess we'll hear about that.
If only he could have got one more.
87 for 2. Harrison bowls. This time it's Noah Fane happy to defend. Highest Essex score on this ground in one-day cricket. That's not going to be challenged by anybody today. Graham Gooch, 171 here back in 1985. This next delivery is pushed back to Calvin Harrison, and of course there was the two famous Lords finals, one win apiece, 1985, right down to the last ball, the NatWest final. Derek Randall fell. There's one up into the block hole. Tried to turn it on the leg side, did Fane, missed it. Derek Randall trying to hit Derek Pringle away for the winning boundary, but only proceeded in picking out the hands of Paul Pritchard at mid-wicket. So Essex won that one. Harrison bowls again, and Fane just a little cautiously chops it out onto the offside, fielded by Lord. 4 years later in the Benson and Hedges final, again it all came down to the last ball, and this time John Lever forgot to put a man at deep backward point, and that's where Eddie Hemmings hit it, and Notts won on that occasion. This one was played back to Calvin Harrison, who's threw his first over for just a single, so something there for Essex to think about, a different dimension to things. Just one run from the leg spinners over, as the Essex 12th man again comes out, and this time with gloves and a drink and a towel for Noah Fain. 87 for 2 after 20.
Yeah, no panic so far from these Essex batsmen. Certainly no rash shots being thrown about. 132 runs required from 180. 8 wickets in hand. Patterson White's going to continue. Just the 20 runs off his 6 overs so far. Great economy. No fireworks yet from Essex and their batsmen. Fielder long on, coming up inside the circle. So are they going to tempt Das in here to go over the top? Just the only, there's 2 men on the leg side, one behind square and one at mid wicket. First delivery is just defended out into the offside. There's deep cover as well, so there's only 3 men outside the circle. So Nottinghamshire on the attack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6 inside the circle. 4 on the offside, 2 behind square, and the other 2 in front square on the leg side. And one's defended to that man at backward point, no run. Game of chess at the moment between these two sides. How many dot balls can Nottinghamshire rack up before Essex start to panic? In, flatter, again can't get it past that man. It's skewed away towards backward point.
Well, we have got a dot counter on the board after Liam Patterson White there at the end. 23 dot balls in his 6.3 overs. So what's that? 39 balls he's bowled, 23 dots.
Patterson White in again off the back foot. Again he finds the man. That's 3 shots, gone straight to the man at backward point.
Yeah, that's Matthew Montgomery in the game there.
Run rate just crept up to 4.5 for Essex. Still not out of hand, but this pitch proving tough to score on.
There's only 1 from the last over as well.
Target 219, 132 required. Down the pitch comes the batsman this time. It will just be a single. 1 to the total, 88 for 2, 132 required. Oh, sorry, correction, 131 required for victory. Nottinghamshire just trying to turn the screw now.
They need wickets. They've got to bowl Essex out. Essex bat through. As it's had a time or 2. Essex bat through, they win. Bowled,
and that's down towards the man at long on, who's pushed back for the end of the over, and that is the end of the over. We've had 21 so far. Essex 89 for 2, chasing 219 for victory.
Yeah, Notts were well ahead at this stage actually in terms of runs, although coming up was a fairly lean period, a lot of overs to follow. That only brought 1 or 2 runs. Just whipping around the other grounds quickly. In the same group as these two, Sussex are 114 for 1. Surrey earlier all out for 242. Warwickshire 242 for 9. Yorkshire 132 for 4 in reply. And at Grace Road, Leicestershire made 271 for 8. Century from Peter Hanscom. And Glamorgan are 83 for 3 in the 20th. There's Calvin Harrison. Give you Group B after this delivery. Harrison to bowl to Noah Fain down the leg side and swept fine, and I think that is going to disappear down below us for 4, and it does. Rather inconveniently, we can't see immediately down below us. We've got the TV gantry in front, and there's all the advertising paraphernalia on the board, so we can't see the ropes down below us. But clearly, it went for 4. So not the greatest of starts to the over from Harrison. Always played a slightly false shot there from Fain. Middlesex made 135, and Somerset have won the first result of the day. Somerset, top of Group A, have beaten Middlesex at Lords by 8 wickets. Harrison bowls again, and this one spins sharply. Noah Fain played all around it. At Wantage Road, Northamptonshire 89 for 4. Lancashire made 240 for 9. Worcestershire closing in on victory, 132 for 2. Hampshire were bowled out for 164. Next ball is heaved into the leg side out to Haynes for a single, 94 for 2. And Durham made 300 a century from Ben McKinney. They were out Kent 130 for 2 in reply. All the scores, all the updates, and all the wickets as they fall on the BBC Sport website are now. And of course, you can also, should you choose, go and listen to another commentary on there as is pushed on the offside. And there's no run. So
why would you?
First result, well, exactly. Why would you follow Notts and Essex all day and then go and pick up Kent and Durham, for example? 94 for 2. Harrison has one ball left. Partnership worth 65. Seba Mead, the Notts team, desperate to break it. And nicely played by Robin Das for a single on the leg side. Dare I say, Das is sehr gut. Well, I have said it. 95 for 2 at the end of the over.
Terrible.
Thank you. The sort of response I usually look for. If it's not a groan, it's a comment of terrible.
So Team GB end Paris 2024 with 65 medals, although down in 7th position, below the Netherlands, that have a sneakily decent tournament. 15 goals for the Netherlands, just 34 medals in total.
Did they get more wickets than the Aussies though? That's the thing.
Unfortunately, the Aussies got 18 goals.
Yeah, but not total medals.
Oh,
Notts got more, didn't they?
Yeah, well, if we're going on total medals, then Team GB are 3rd.
Yeah,
is that what we're going on?
That's the way to do it.
Okay, all right, fine.
That's the way to do it.
Just checking the rules.
David Wilds just picking up on my comment of people on the field. Good to see. Back to the old Sunday League days. Here's Fletcher.
Yep, change of bowling at the Radcliffe Road end. Fletcher in, pulled away into the leg side. Oh, just beats the dive of the man at short mid wicket. It's going to be 4 runs. Who's that, Dave? Well, throwing himself to his left.
He's down on the ground. It could be anybody. I think it's Freddie McCann.
I think he's got. Yeah. Did he get a hand on it, or did he just land on his hand awkwardly? Either way, he's holding his left hand, whoever it is.
It's Freddie McCann. It is McCann, but
number 44. Yeah,
it's McCann.
Valiant effort. Seems to have hurt himself in the process. 4 runs to the total. 99 for 2. Essex require 120 for victory. Wonder if Essex will prefer a bit of pace on the ball, actually. Something to go at. Fletcher 4.2 overs, 0 for 30 so far. So Essex have taken a liking to him. Fletcher turns. Number 19 on his back. Moves in now past the umpire. Bowls, and that's pushed up down towards mid-off. There won't be a run there. Hamid fields at mid-off. 99 for 2. We are in the 23rd over here on BBC Essex, BBC Radio, Nottinghamshire. Myself, David Brett, and David Brace Girdle. BBC Essex Cricket at gmail.com if you want to get in touch with us. Short back and sides for Fletcher. To the stumps now. Bowls a loopy full-length delivery. It's on the bounce, just pushed away by the man at backward point, down towards third man for a single. 100 up for Essex.
Andy Easham's just made a very good point here. 99 for 2. Dave, I think you've just said there's the possibility that if all things went Notts' way, they could be at New Road to face Worcestershire on Friday. You've also said Lyndon James is playing for the England Lions in a 4-day match starting at New Road on Wednesday. Is that what you said? But I may have misheard. It is what I said. Absolutely what I said. I hadn't factored in the Lions game. So Worcestershire might have a problem if they qualify in second place.
Fletcher bowls, cracked away through the offside, not timed by Thane. Down towards deep cover for a single, 101 for 2.
So if they are in second place and get that sort of home eliminator, second in their group against the third in this group, Group B, then the options, I guess, well, they can't use New Road, so it would either be find another ground for home advantage, surrender home advantage, or when I say another ground, maybe Edgbaston or whatever, or maybe they've got Kidderminster available, but at short notice that would be a long shot, wouldn't it?
Fletcher bowls, and Das covers up, defends into the offside. There's no run.
So we'll We'll leave that there, Andy. Yes, I was wrong. 101 for 2 after 23. He also said, "How did Notts County go yesterday?" Decent enough start to the season. There are lots of promising signs, Andy. I think a point on the road and a clean sheet is a decent start considering the injuries they've got. There we are. That's the end of the football chat for the day. 101 for 2 after 23, and Rob Lord's coming back. So they've weathered the LPW and Harrison bowling in tandem storm. But Rob Lord presents a different set of questions. Got the 2 wickets earlier on. Looks very much up for the battle.
Batting terribly quickly, these two, but they're keeping that gap between runs required and balls left to around about 50.
Yes, the DLS says they should be about 80 at this stage, so they're comfortably ahead of that. The 15 or so behind where Notts were at the same stage, but that's all irrelevant. Notts need a couple of wickets really to get themselves back in contention right now. So Lord from the Broad and bowls short, cut away for 4. It's not, it's going to be fielded. It is fielded. Nicely done. It's good work out there by Ben Slater. Not giving him much of a mention. He's gone down and
he's hurt himself
maybe
there, hasn't he?
banged his knee as he slid there.
It's going to be hard ground out there.
It is indeed. Don't think I've actually mentioned Ben Slater in the course of this innings. Been out there prowling on the ropes. Good stop.
That's the first one that Noah Thane's reconnected with, but fielder in the right place at the right time.
102 for 2. Good stop, save 3 runs. Next ball is just dragged onto the leg side for a single. 103 for 2. Das goes to 47 and the partnership to 74. Essex require 116 more, and they've got half the evening to get it. 26 more overs after this one. Should get home from here. Notts need a wicket or 2 very quickly just to increase their chances. Right now I'm guessing if there was one of those win-vis things, they'd say Essex are probably about 75-80%. 103 for 2. Getting pushed into the offside, no run. 2 wickets would still have it firmly in Essex's favour, but we'll give Notts a bit of hope.
These two seem fairly comfortable just knocking about, don't they?
Yeah. Yes, it's been an ideal partnership for the visitors, just what was required. It'll be pleasing to see for the Essex supporters when you've no longer got any chance of qualifying for the next round. You want to see a little bit of fight, you want to see some performances. Lord bowls, and this is, well, I was going to say helped round the corner, but he only just got a bit of bat on it and it's a single. I was expecting it to be racing down nice and fine for 4, but it wasn't.
27 degrees out there at the moment, apparently.
Yes, we've probably had the hottest period of the day. And 5 for 2.
Guess a lot of people just heading home for a bit of supper.
Lord bowls Thane high on his tippy toes, pushes it out onto the offside, and there's no run. Been an interesting day's cricket. Not at their best. Too many players got starts and then got out. Essex were disciplined with the ball, took their chances in the field, stopped the boundaries, prevented a lot of balls that should have gone to the ropes, kept them down to 1s and 2s. Next ball is again turned away on the leg side out towards Haynes. It was in the air for a while, but landed long before it reached Jack Haynes. 106 for 2. Threw another over there. 24 gone. Rob Lord's come back over out of the way. He's now 6 overs, 2 for 26. We'll have 1 more over, and then there'll be, I guess, a protracted drinks break as we saw after 25 overs of the first innings.
Yeah, last delivery, just guided by Thane, didn't really go through with the shot, just lifting it over the infield, and confident enough there wasn't going to carry to the men in the deep. Just knocking off these runs in dribs and drabs. 113 required of 156. And as we keep mentioning, comfortably ahead of that par score. Calvin Harrison coming back on. It's time from the Radcliffe Road end. So just a 2-over burst from Fletcher. Now runs were drying up with the spinners on. They start to come again with the quicks on. 11 off the last 2 overs from the off the 2 quicks. Harrison in now, bowls. That's turned into the leg side by Thane, and there's no run. Mid-wicket Fields. Straight back at the top of his mark. Harrison gives it some air edge. No, comes straight off the pitch, straight to first slip. Puff of dust and a bit of turn, and first slip takes it.
Yeah, good catch by Matthew Montgomery. Don't often see that, do you? It looked like it was the outside edge and through to the keeper, but no animation from anybody at all.
Nice length from Harrison. Bowls again off the back foot. That's cut away down towards wide third man. The cover running round to field. They'll get back for a second run though. And 2 to the total. 106 to 111 required for victory. Can Essex dent Nottinghamshire's hopes of a knockout stage match, as this one's come off the pads into the leg side? It was going down leg side. Ball pops out, fielded by the bowler.
Well, if you don't play well enough, you don't deserve to win. But personally speaking, if there was something on it in the game at rugby on Wednesday, it would be more interesting from a Notts perspective.
Flatter from Harrison, guided out to the offside.
Worcestershire get the second win of the day, also in the other group. 8-wicket win over Hampshire earlier. Somerset defeated Middlesex, and we'll have a look at the table in a moment when it's been updated.
Correction, just the 1 ball left in the over, and that's guided out towards that short backward point. And another single taken, 110 for 2. 4 runs off that over as well. Essex require 109 from 150 balls. And we're going to have a little drinks break. Cue for some supporters to leave the ground as well. Or at least go and get some refreshments.
Yeah, I'll try and...
Never quite sure how well the bars do on days like this, because obviously a lot of people got work tomorrow. You're with the kids as well.
Right. So Somerset have finished their 8 matches. They don't play in the last round of matches. This is the other group, Group A. So Somerset will finish on 12 points from their 8 matches. Now Worcestershire have just won, so they are on 10 points from 7 matches. So they would know what they would need to do. A big win on the last day could see them overhaul Somerset at the top of the group. Hampshire played 7, 8 points. Derbyshire, are they in action today? I don't think Derbyshire are in action. I haven't read their score out. So they are on 8 points. Durham, if they win, would go to 9 points. So it's essentially there's still plenty to play for in the other group. Somerset have qualified 10, 10. And the other places are up for grabs, but Worcestershire have made a big statement to qualifying as well by defeating Hampshire, whose chances are waning, shall we say, in that one. In the group that affects Notts and Essex, Surrey are playing Sussex today. Surrey 7th, they've got 2 wins, 4 points. Sussex bottom, no wins, no points. Essex, of course, they've got one win, they're on 2 points. If they won today and Surrey were beaten, Essex would join Surrey on 4 points, but all fairly academic ahead of them. Notts, if they don't win, they can't qualify, or they've got no chance. They would have more of a route and more of things being in their own destiny if Leicestershire were defeated today by Glamorgan, who've already qualified, and Glamorgan are currently 102 for 3 after 23 overs. They have a victory target of 272. Everything you need to know, and you can perhaps work it out for yourself on the BBC Sport website and app. 110 for 2 is the Essex score. Nobody in any rush to crack on with things. Out there in the middle. Keep your correspondence coming in. BBC Essex Cricket at gmail.com if you've got a burning issue that you've got to get off your chest. And David will have a little look in the fullness of time as Tina Turner continues to earn a few royalties as her tunes are being belted out over the tannoy on a lovely afternoon in the East Midlands. Lots of questions for Asiba Mead to answer. He's taken the counsel some of his elder statesmen out there. I think there's going to be a bowling change. I think Freddie McCann's going to have a go his first time today. Off spinner Freddie McCann, who came in at 3 today and started off nicely. It was one of many that got a start and then perished, out for 33. Caught behind off Jamal Richards. Just finding the right combination, or finding somebody with a lucky arm, perhaps somebody that can just induce a false shot that either goes straight up in the air or is chopped on. Almost desperation stakes for Notts, with Essex over halfway now. They've got 110 on the board and they require 109 more. Certainly an even-paced run chase, this, very much on target. What they don't want is a couple of wickets to go down in quick succession and two fresh players having to start on a wearing wicket. Dassas 49. Going to be facing Freddie McCann's first ball. What he will want is a first delivery loosener. It's not, it's a decent delivery, fired in by McCann, played to a Mead well inside the circle at mid-wicket, no run. 110 for 2 Essex. Partnership of 81. McCann in again, and once more it's turned to a Mead on the leg side, no run, couple of dots. Essex can. Das looking for the single. McCann bowls, and I'm not sure what this has come off. It's sort of looped up over Tom Moore's. I think it's going to be a leg by. They've run 2. The umpire getting into a position to tap his knee, and he does. It's been retrieved by Luke Fletcher, halfway between Tom Moore's and the rope down below us. So a couple of leg bys. 112 for 2.
Yeah, ball must have cut back a little bit on the batsman.
McCann in again, and this will be Robin Dass's 50. Nicely played, comes up from 72 deliveries. Once or twice just wondered if he's getting bogged down, but he's not really allowed himself to get flustered. Been at the crease for an hour and 3/4, hit 5 fours in his 50. Scored square of the wicket predominantly, just a couple of shots down the ground. 113 for 2. Faines with him on 41, and he's beaten by a quicker one from McCann that doesn't stick in the gloves of Tom Moore's. Decent opening so far from Freddie McCann, just a single from his first over. One ball left. Can he just see it through with a dot? Or better? Comes in off just a couple of paces, drags it down short, but it's hit straight back to the bowler, so that's a decent first over for Notts after drinks. 113 for 2 after 26. Essex still well ahead in terms of where they would want to be. They're 14 behind where Notts were at the same stage, but plenty of wickets in hand, and they're looking good at the moment.
Number of balls just starting to come down though, isn't it? 106 off 144. Hovering between 40 and 50, and now hovering between 30 and 40 is number of balls available. So just got to keep that in mind, as Dave said, in terms of where the Duckworth-Lewis par score suggests they should be. At the end of this over, they're well ahead. So Harris continuing from the Radcliffe Road end, bowls to Das, who's down the pitch and defends into the offside, and there's no run. 106 required for 143. Essex just the one win in the competition so far. Can't get through to the knockout stages. Flatter delivery, carved way through the offside. There's a chase on here for the deep cover fielder. He's going to get there. Picked up one-handed. Throw comes back in, but off balance. Can't get any pace on the ball as it comes in. It'll be 2 runs to the total. 115 for 2.
Really good boundary fielder, Jack Haynes. At Neath last week, was square on. Commentary position was square on. He was fielding right in front of me.
Harrison bowls to Das, who defends. There's no run.
Seeing him in action at close quarters, really impressive. The speed off the mark to move to either right or left, just so impressive. Covers a lot of ground very quickly. Got a good arm.
Just adjusting the field here. A man at deep cover coming more towards point. There's a man who's just moved in front. It was at backward point, it moves in front of square on the offside. Harrison bowls. That's a lovely delivery. Brings Das forward, beats him on the outside edge. Haven't seen one of those for a while. It's well taken by the wicket keeper. But no edge.
A little bit of encouragement for Calvin Harrison.
115 for 2. 104 required of 140 for Essex. Das on strike, off the back foot, cuts away. Fielder at short third man makes sure he picks up the ball on the bounce. Does it cleanly. And there's no run there for Essex. Last ball of the over coming up. Oh, DJ was a bit premature. Harrison skips in. Bowls, and that's cut away. Now that's going to beat the man at third man, but it won't beat the man running round from deep backward point. Throw comes in, and got through for a second, and Tom Moores has hurt himself there. Don't quite know what happened there. I think he tried to flick the ball on and ended up crashing the ball into his own foot. Anyway, end of the over. We have had 27 overs gone. Essex are 117 for 2. They require 102 more for victory. Feel a little bit more comfortable once that gets down to double figures.
They will indeed. Freddie McCann, first over went for 1. No surprise. He's being kept on. Some running repairs for Robin Das at the far end. Wardrobe malfunction with something or other, thigh pad or something. All been sorted out as McCann bowls and Fane turns it to mid-wicket. No run. Fane on 41. Partnership of 88 for this third wicket. Next ball is bringing a little bit of joy and hope and optimism for Notts, because Noah Fane down on one knee, attempting the slog sweep over mid-wicket, missed it. Tom Moores took it outside the off stump and either whipped off a bail or it rebounded to knock off a bail. Not sure which from this angle. Fane pushes the next one to LPW in the covers, no run. Probably picking up a little bit. The flags at the far end starting to blow a little bit. Comes down the track this time. It's it back on the bounce to McCann. I say the flags, the Nottinghamshire county flag above the pavilion and the two sponsors' flags above the Hound Road stand are just starting to bristle a little bit. Oh, down the leg side, and it's going to be wide. It's past Tom Moores down below us. They're going to come back for a couple. So, well, so he tapped the umpire. Well, he signalled wide originally. And now he's changed his mind and given it as leg byes, which is bizarre, which is absolutely bonkers. His arms were stretched out, weren't they, to signal a wide, but he's changed it to leg bye. There's a reverse sweep straight to Luke Fletcher. Nothing doing there for Essex, but again they've just taken enough runs from that over, those couple of runs, to just reduce the deficit to an even 100. 119 for 2. 100 required, 8 wickets in hand, and 22 overs in which to get it.
Thane was a little lucky there that Tom Moores wasn't able to grab that down the leg side. Otherwise, might have been able to stump it.
Strange old piece of umpiring, actually, in truth, because Harris straight away had his arms out to signal a wide, and then they completed the 2 and just maybe with keeper and batter said no, it brushed his pad.
Harrison bowls, and Robin Dash just cuts that one down towards deep backward point. 120 for 2, 98 sorry, 99 required for victory. Essex just keep going along, 1 run at a time at the moment. McCann in, bowls flatter, whipped away into the leg side. That's going to be a 6, a flat 6 as well. And nice shot. He tried that in the last over, didn't quite get hold of it this time. Swung it away into the leg side, and Thane goes to 47. The score is 126 for 2. Can't afford too many of them, Nottinghamshire.
No, in a sense it was a bit of a free hit once you decided that was going to be your target area, and knowing there was no fielder there.
Harrison in again, bowls full up, and that's driven down towards long off for a single. 127 for 2. 92 runs required for victory. Next target for Essex is to try and get that under 50 runs required. And if these two are still there...
Yeah, it's job done, isn't it?
Yeah. Deeply disappointing for Nottinghamshire if that were to happen. Cut off the back foot past the man at backward point down towards a deep backward point area. The man from cover runs round, and it will just be a couple of runs. 131 for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 131.
100 partnership. No, 129 2. Yeah, I think it had beaten both there. It's 129.
Yeah, 129 for 2.
Yeah, sometimes the lightning quick. You watch the batters scamper up and down. You look at the board and it's already changed.
In comes Harrison again. Das covers up, defends into the offside. That's the last ball of the over. Essex 129 for 2. Require another 90 to win. Where's your money, Dave?
Oh, well, it's been with Essex since, well, probably since about 30 overs into the Notts innings. Essex took control of the game at that stage, and certainly I always felt 218 was not enough. Had to blink a couple of times when it was 29 for 2 with Rob Lord bowling as he was, and Liam Patterson-White just coming into the attack, and his first 2 overs only went for 3. In fact, first 3 overs went for 6, and then there was a boundary that shouldn't have been a boundary in his 4th over. Felt at that stage it might just get tougher and tougher. If Notts could have got another wicket, but they haven't. So fair play to Noah Thane and Robin Das. Start of a new over, and Thane eases this into the offside, and LPW makes the stop. Will be thought, I guess, amongst the Essex supporters as this is turned behind square and there's no run. There'll be those that are delighted to see the fight today from the side. Some youngsters really impressing. Richards with the ball and this pair with the bat, and they'll be, I'm sure everybody will be highly delighted with the performance as a reverse sweep finds the boundary rope for 4 more. 133 for 2. There'll also be those that take the point of view, well, in a sense it's a bit of a dead rubber, and why couldn't they have done this? That's the half century for Noah Thane as well. Why couldn't they have done that whilst there were still hopes of qualification alive? But that's cricket, that's sport, that's life. Very well played. I'm sure we'll get Noah Thane's figures in a moment. At the moment we've just got a blank ball. Is 76 balls, and gets another one. He's hit 6 4s and a 6. So well battered. both of them. 53 Thane, 57 Das. Both gone past Matthew Montgomery's score of 52, which is the top hand for Notts, and I sense that's where Notts have lost this, really. They had a number of starts, but nobody went on and compiled a big score. Again, hit out onto the leg side by Das for a single. Haynes for the umpteenth time today does the fielding. And it's 135.
Shane Slater was busy on that boundary during the Nottinghamshire innings as well.
He was. It's coming down quickly now, the amount of runs required. McCann bowling. I think I probably said Harrison earlier in the over. McCann bowled. Thane's figures now, which have been put up. 53. He's been at the crease for about an hour and a half. 76 balls now, 6 fours and a 6. And mightily impressive knock it has been as well. I believe that pace on is the way to go. Unless, well, I don't know.
Long old conversation between those two.
I would take a punt, stick with the spinners, and I would bring another couple inside the ring. You've got to apply pressure somehow. There's just too many areas where you can just lay bat on ball and just walk a single down the other end. I know I said it earlier, you can't plug all the gaps, and it only takes, if you do that, it only takes one ring puncturing shot and over to reach the boundary. But you've got to apply pressure somehow. Start with a position of, we're going to lose this, and we do something, and then from there try and do something, and if it doesn't work after a couple of overs, try something else.
That big old conflab, what it's resulted in is long on, long off inside the circle. 4 men on the offside, 2 men on the leg side. Ball's full, driven down the ground, but long off will stop. Mid off will stop that, and that'll be a single to the total. 136 for 2, so Essex require 83 to win.
One of the many impressive things about this partnership is we've not seen the balls being hit into the air. I know there's been just been a 6, but even that was flat. It was only about 7 feet high all the way to the ropes. Everything along the ground stylishly.
Harrison bowls again. That one does turn. It's well ridden by Thane, defending it down towards short third man for a single. 137 for 2. 82 required for victory.
Tom says it's never been enough runs. Been a rough white ball season for Notts.
Harrison bowls again, and off the back foot, Das tries to find a gap in that offside backward of square, but he only finds the man at backward point. There's no run.
Premier League Dave says the same. Not enough runs again.
Shade starting to come over the Trent Bridge outfield. That one's driven, skewed into the offside, looking to drive through that cover area, but ends up down towards a deep backward point for a single. 138 for 2.
Again, no, if there was I know, I keep saying it, you can't plug all the gaps, but if there was a fielder there, it's just such an easy get-off strike.
Emergency services whirring away.
Yep.
As Harrison bowls, that one's dabbed into the offside. Run down towards backward point, no run.
That news gone off, but Ben Martindale is on, the sub-fielder at deep bat square, the white floppy sun hat and the fluorescent orange cricket boots.
Harrison really gives that one some air and driven back to the bowler. And that's a dot ball to finish the over. Just the 3 runs off it. Essex 138 for 2, about 31 overs.
Yeah, 3 and over is decent enough from Calvin Harrison, but you know, Essex could even afford over the next 10 overs to go along at 3 and over, and they're still going to be in charge. Going to have, it's going to be McCann to continue. Thought he was going to bring Rob Lord back into the attack because he's loosening up and he is stood in the general vicinity of the stumps at the far end, but now it's going to be McCann, who's bowled 3 overs, none for 7. Impressive figures from young Freddie here. Just needs a little bit of luck to go his way. Remember, Jamal Richards came into the attack, got 2 wickets in his first over, and Bob's your uncle never looked back. There's McCann bowls, and this has just helped off the stumps down fine down below us by Robin Dass, who moves to 61. Well, we're still living in the days of Player of the Match Awards, Man of the Match Awards, whatever you want to call them, Gold Awards. Robin Dass would be a leading contender, so too would be Jamal Richards, of course, for his fifer. This is pushed back to the bowler. Wouldn't be too many contenders in the green and gold, I don't think, right now. Surprised Matthew Montgomery has had a couple of overs. Good from McCann, pushes that through. Thane can't get him away. You never know if it's going to be somebody's day. Sometimes you don't need to be brilliant, you don't even need to be good, you just need a little bit of luck to go your way. Sometimes it is your day. This one's hit back to McCann. Does well to field off his own bowling. I like this combination at the moment of Harrison and McCann. Harrison's starting to leak a few runs, though. He's gone for 28, and this one's pulled away on the leg side, and Jack Haynes can't see it, and it's eluded him and gone for 4. Well, he was clearly looking into the sun. He gave everybody notice that it's Calvin Harrison. I beg your pardon, it's Calvin Harrison out there. So where's Jack Haynes? It's Calvin Harrison out there. He seemed to be getting into a position, and then at the very last second put his hands up in front of his face and went the wrong way. It landed just inside the rope for 4.
I wonder if he fell over just to safeguard himself there as he lost it in the sun.
I wonder if McCann's on the field for Jack Haynes. Let's have a look.
Essex got away with that one.
Yep. From 43 for 2. Boundary for Thane. Pushes this back to the unlucky bowler. The end of the over, 32 gone. 143 for 2 means 76 more are required. 108 balls in which to get it, and
yeah, that would have been
David's absolutely right.
Would have been a comfortable catch down on the boundary. He had managed to keep his eye on it. As it was, went for a 4. Essex breather, sigh of relief. 76 now required for victory. Just edging down towards that 50 mark.
Yeah, Jack Haynes is moving back out onto that side of the ground. He was obviously down below us at long leg. Just wonder, he's been fielding out there all the innings, Haynes, and although it can't be easy if you're looking into the sun, as I say, he'd been out there all the innings, and one way or another had developed some sort of technique for seeing the ball when it was coming towards him. And I'm sure the sun was a bit higher early on when he did take that one catch, but it's just somewhat ironic that, not sure if it was the first time or not, but Harrison was out there and he couldn't see.
McCann on from the Radcliffe Road end.
Harrison.
Oh, sorry, Harrison on from the Radcliffe Road end, and that's defended, and there's no run. So 143 for 2, Essex, 76 required for victory, 107 balls to get them in. Harrison in again. Oh, that beats the outside edge. I think Dass was trying to guide that with a thin outside edge, but flew through to the wicketkeeper, a bit too close to play that shot.
Doesn't matter who's bowling, it's lovely to see a leg spinner with a nice flighted delivery that just comes away from the batter. Lovely bit of bowling.
Harrison skips in again, bowls, and that's a backward point, going to field that. Throw comes in, but they get through comfortably for a single. 144 for 2. Stand still pretty full. I mean, it's noticeably more empty than it was earlier. Had a pretty decent crowd in earlier today. As this next delivery, a big swipe into the leg side, but it goes straight through Dass. Sorry, correction, straight through Thane. And wicketkeeper takes it well, but no edge. 44 for 2, 75 required for victory. Balls remaining, just continuing to drip down. That's going to be no run either. Dabbed out into the offside. Still 75 to win now, 103 balls. Getting down into the low 20s, or lower 20s. 28 balls is the gap between balls and runs, and that's defended into the offside. 102 balls required. Sorry, 102 balls available for the 75 required for victory, and that is the end of the over. 33 overs gone. Essex 144 for 2.
Just down the road, relatively speaking, so long as you haven't got to walk it, it's just down the road. Glamorgan 146 for 5 after 31. Need 126 more from 19 overs to defeat Leicestershire. Colin Ingram's still there, and I guess is Glamorgan's main hope. He's 44 not out in that one. 144 for 2 after 33 here. Same stage, Notts were 166. It's hard to make a case for Notts, comparatively speaking, being ahead at this stage. It really is, but they're the facts. But Notts, of course, didn't bat out their innings, were well short, 145 for 2.
Also, the advantage of going second is you know what you got to get right.
Best part of 4 overs unbowled at the end of the Notts innings. That one, well, it's gone past Noah Fane and through Tom Moores. That might be a bye, unless... Did he get it?
Was that a drop? Yeah, I think he's edged it.
I think it was along the ground. I don't know. Very, very difficult, isn't it? But he's got the run nonetheless. 146 for 2. So if it was in and out of the keeper's gloves, that's 2 in 2 overs for McCann, although they landed the opportunity that Notts were unable to take. Their catching's not been great in this Metro Bank One Day Cup competition. This ball is just turned on the leg side. There's no run. Hamid, the captain, doing the fielding. McCann in once more, and this one's chipped uppishly between the bowler and the captain coming in from mid-wicket. It was tantalisingly right between the pair of them. 147 for 2. Snooker maximum up there on the board. 72 required. Essex 2/3 of the way to their target. Next one's pulled out to Calvin Harrison. Can see this one coming towards him and throws it back into Tom Moores. .48 for 2. McCann persists. Das, little drop onto the offside. LPW does the fielding. Another single taken. 149 for 2. They're good for the over 8, this pair, but at the moment you struggle to see where the wicket's going to come from. And Notts don't just need to break this partnership, they need to break the next one and the next one and the next one to have any chance. I think it's potentially gone already, and there's I guess a big shout with 70 required. Lots of games have been won from this scenario by the fielding side, but it does seem as if everything is very much in Essex's favour right now, with this pair both nicely set in the 60s, with obviously the amount of runs required coming down. It's very, very manageable, and 8 wickets still in hand.
Yeah, it seems like a pitch that's quite difficult to get yourself in on, so if Nottinghamshire can make a breakthrough, it's certainly slowed Essex down. They aren't going at a lightning pace at the moment. I mean, they're only 4.4 and over. Required rate is 4.4 and over, so it's by no means a given here that Essex will definitely do this, but as I said, if they get it down below 50 runs required, they'll fancy themselves. They might start to play a few shots. Harrison bowls. That's turned into the leg side. That's a comfortable single down towards deep backward square leg. 150 up for Essex, 150 for 2. 95 balls remaining, 69 required for victory. Harrison just adjusting his field. He's just having a word with his captain here. He's going to move a little bit finer inside the circle, which means the man down on the boundary shifts round to his left-hand side at deep mid-wicket. Harrison fires one in. Big swipe by Thane outside the off stump, but he doesn't get any bat on it.
Yeah, there is an extra man inside the ring now, isn't there? There's 6 inside the ring. Slip's gone in. 4 on the offside, 2 on the leg inside the circle.
Down the pitch comes Thane. It's uppish. clips it down towards mid-off. It bounces comfortably in front and they get through for a single as well. Some hands on knees there.
Tom Moore's nearly fellow members of the wicket-keepers union there. Tom Moore's went to throw the ball back to Calvin Harris and it didn't go as intended, and cries a duck, otherwise it would have hit umpire Phil Mustard on the head.
Harrison, flatter bowls, that's carved down to the man at short third man coming round from towards backward point, no run. 151 for 2, 68 required for victory Essex, 92 balls remaining. Harrison floats that one up, that one's dabbed into the offside, and one of the fielders takes a tumble. They get through for a single, 152 for 2.
It's that swarm of bees again. It's only affected one fielder, Liam Patterson-White, going to the ground.
I think running after that, just tripped over his own feet, didn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway, no harm done. Single taken, which I think would have been taken anyway. 152 for 2. Harrison in. Oh, it's a lovely delivery. Brings Thane forward, beats him on the outside edge, through to the wicket-keeper. And a dot ball to finish the over. 67 required for victory, 90 balls remaining. Essex are 152 for 2. Can they do it?
Well, almost certainly. I don't even think there's probably a need for the word almost there. So you can't really make a case for having watched what we've watched today, and also myself having watched what I saw here on Friday when Notts only got 3 wickets against Gloucestershire as they chased down 330. 333 was the target, chased it down comfortably with only 3 wickets down. So Notts have only taken 5 wickets in getting on for 90 overs, over 80 overs. They need 8 in the next 15. Unlikely. McCann has been good, he's been unlucky. Das has been excellent. Turned 8th and 69th run on the leg side as the throw comes in from Jack Haynes, and Das has to throw himself at the crease. Full length dive. Throw was good. Very much common practice now when a fielder dives full length that he immediately calls for new gloves. Never entirely got the reasoning behind that.
Almost run himself out there. Had that throw been on the stumps, I don't think he would have even required a direct hit. But if the keeper could have got a hand to it, I think he would have been out.
You might get a bit of dust and soil and earth on the outside of your gloves, but I don't know why always the need to change your gloves when you dive full length. Somebody will perhaps explain it to me one day. It's not the biggest issue in the game of cricket right now, admittedly, but change of gloves has been safely accomplished. Das on 69, partnership of 125. It's a long time ago since Tom Wesley's off stump was sent cartwheeling and Essex for 29 for 2, and we wondered if we were going to get a low scoring nip and tuck thriller. It's not panned out like that. Essex under the clear blue skies of this Nottingham Sunday afternoon, well on their way. Single taken as it's turned on the leg side to the captain Hamid. 155 for 2. Again the toss lost by the Notts skipper. Matthew Montgomery, who was in there close, dispenses with his helmet and go out onto the leg side, takes his cap back from Asib Hamid, who was looking after it for safekeeping. 155 for 2. This one's hit out onto the offside and it's gone all the way for 6. Noah Thane accelerate Essex ever more quickly to their victory target. 161 for 2. Only 58 now more required, and Thane up to 67. He's got one that he can again play out on the leg side. Moves to 68. He's within 2 of Das. 162 for 2. T says he's putting his travel plans to go to rugby on Wednesday to one side. This is turned away for a single. 163 for 2. In terms of Notts having something to play for, you're almost certainly correct, team. Might be one to tick off. Not entirely sure that cricket has the same sort of ground hoppers as football has. It's pushed on the offside. I guess I'm one of those where, oh crikey, I've not been there, I'd like to go there, but that's not to the point that I've ever thought on the day when Notts weren't playing, I know what, I'm going to drive down to Beckenham, because that's still one ground I've got to tick off. Not been to Arundel either. Not been to most of the other grounds. Don't know what that Tannoy announcement is, but got something on the board. I don't know if it's it's just a little interview being done with members of the crowd. There's a real powwow going on between Asiba Mead, the captain, Tom Moores, the wicketkeeper, Matthew Montgomery, Luke Fletcher, Liam Patterson-White coming back. Score is 162 for 2, and we are through 36 overs now.
Robin Das going through some extensive repairs, I think, on thigh pads and stuff there, just making sure he's all got protection in the right place. Michael's been, he believes Essex have a policy of giving certain players a run out, not selecting players on form or ability, but this group looks sound. Michael's opinion. Graham's been in touch as well. New List A top score for Das. Previous best was 67 against Yorkshire at Scarborough last Tuesday. Thank you, Graham. Das 70 at the non-striker's end. Thane defends into the offside. He's on 68. Essex 162 for 2. 57 required for 83 balls.
Yeah, good points made by Graham. If all the Essex supporters and the coaching staff accept it's all just part of a steep learning curve for the younger players.
Reverse sweep this time by Thane. Oh, he comes down the pitch. He could be in trouble here. No, the throw slightly off target anyway. Sent back by Das straight away. It was a suicidal run, that.
But there's always a what if, isn't there? It's human nature. It's not just Essex, Graham. It's just human nature. Oh crikey, we've played really well here, and if we played like this against X, Y, or Z.
Down the leg side, that's going to be by wides, 5 of them. It's going to run all the way to the boundary. That won't help matters for Nottinghamshire. 52 required now off 81.
No, won't help the Patterson-White's figures or his mood either. So that was leg side, but able to be stopped by the keeper. It went very quickly, as pretty much anything does as it makes its way towards the ropes here.
167 for 2. As Thane skews that one out towards extra cover. There's no run.
It's not possible, even with some careful adjudication here, for both of them to reach 3 figures, is it?
Defended into the leg side this time by Thane. There's no run. 68 to Thane off 100 deliveries now. 70 off 101 for Das, almost going neck and neck. 52 required. One of them can get to 100. Driven straight back to the bowler. Nicely struck by Thane, but Patterson-White collects on the bounce.
Nice to finish 85 or 90 not out apiece, isn't it, and walk off together arm in arm.
5 wides, the only runs to come off the over so far. Oh, a big swipe attempted into the leg side, taken by Moores, but Thane keeps his foot inside the crease, and that is the end of the over. 52 required for Essex, 78 balls to get them off.
Well, if they can't both get centuries, they can bask in the knowledge that they have now broken the highest 3rd wicket partnership by Essex against Nottinghamshire. Previously it was 127 at Valentine's Park, Ilford, 50 years ago, 16th of June 1974. Essex won by 3 wickets, the old John Player League. 185 for 4 was the not score from 40 overs. Essex 186 for 5, and it was Keith Fletcher 99 not out, Kenny McEwen 62 not out. 62, I beg your pardon, he was dismissed, but Fletcher 99 not out when the winning runs were scored. Halcyon days of Essex cricket. Stuart Turner opened the batting that day 50 years ago. Bob Cook, Keith Fletcher, Kenny McEwen, Keith Boyce, Graham Gooch batted at 6, Brian Edmeades, and Smith, the wicket-keeper, Neil Smith, Robin Hobbs, David Outfield, John Lever. And in the interests of balance, while we're waiting for a resumption of play, Freddie McCann to bowl his 7th over on the spin. This is cut to backward point. Fletcher will field. They'll get a single, although Fletcher throws it to the far end. And that match 50 years ago at Ilford, Notts fielded Mike Harris, Bashir Hassan, Derek Randall, Mike Smedley, Trevor Tunnicliffe, Barry Stead, Bob White, Jackie Bond, John Birch, Philip Wilkinson and Bill Taylor. Next ball through into the gloves of Moores with Noah Fane backing away. It's so far away, couldn't reach it in the end. Keith Boyce was a player, wasn't there? Saw him many times for Essex and the West Indies. A lot of impressive things about his game. There's a misfield by McCann off his bowling, and it leaks a run as a consequence. It was hit back to him. He will feel he should have stopped it. I remember him on this ground down at long leg a time or two, just fizzing the ball in with the most accurate rapier-like arm. He was a big hitter. He was a West Indian fast bowler as well, and this one slammed down the ground for 4 by Das, who had seen Noah Fane get closer and closer and closer to his score. He got within 2 there. It was 71-69, but Das extends the advantage again with a boundary, 75-69. Notts require a little short of a miracle. Could do with a Keith Boyce of their own or somebody of that ilk to come on and try and get 8 wickets here. There's more runs, there's 4 more runs. This is nice from Das. He's decided to make a bolt for the finishing line here. He's now on 79 and he'll be weighing it up. We need 42 and I require 21.
A couple of nice shots there, especially the one down the ground. That's the first time that boundary's been targeted all afternoon.
Yeah. Just wonder if Freddie McCann just getting a little bit tired. Be tired of bowling to this pair, that's for sure. There's this one fired through and somehow kept out by Das. 177 for 2 after 38, a maximum of 12 overs left. Essex won't need that many. They've only got 42 more required.
We're also come to that point where the Outlaws snake starts to flatten out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because they got stuck towards the end of their innings.
Well, it disappeared. They didn't have the last 4 overs of their innings, did they? They were bowled out. Again, even that's costly. I don't think another 20 would make much difference here, but it would have been useful. It was a bit of a squandering of the last few overs.
Patterson going to be bowling to Thane. Thane 69, Das 79. A lovely delivery. Beats him outside the off stump. No edge though, taken by Moores. 177 for 2. You
just play as you have been playing for the next few overs, and if it gets to within sort of 6 or 7 required, then you have a look and see how many Robin Das has got.
Patterson White in, swept. It's off the pads, off the glove. Either way, it's popped up into the offside, and it's safe. There's no run.
Rich C says, Dave, you're welcome in Beckenham any time at all. I'm waiting for the moon and the stars to align and Notts get a fixture down there. Second 11 played there earlier this season. Flatter from
Patterson White. It's clipped out towards deep mid-wicket. They might come back for a second here. Yep, they're going to try the arm. No, they're sent back. Probably the right move. It's a short boundary out there. The throw.
Yeah, of the current grounds that are being used, even occasionally, I think I've been to all bar there. Sedbergh School, which is a new one that's popped up. Notts haven't been there yet. Next one's blocked. Trying to think.
Patterson White around the wicket. Bowls swung away, 6 runs. That's a good clean hit. And you know when the confidence is flowing, they're relaxed a little bit more now, and suddenly things are starting coming out of the middle of the bat. And 6 runs, 85. Das is eyeing up his 100 here.
Durham have played 1 or 2 games at they call it I think they call it north-south. Is it south-north? No, it's north-south at Gosforth. They've played 1 or 2 short format games over the last 2 or 3 years. I've obviously not been there yet either, but done most of the rest of them, I think.
It's the 150 partnership up as well for Essex. 55 of 203 deliveries. Last ball of the over. Essex require 35 to win. It's a squared das up there, run down towards the man at backward point, and there is no run. End of the over. 39 overs gone, and 35 to win. Does the captain just stick with the spinners now? Or give it one last shot?
I don't know what he does from here on in. I think everybody inside the ground knows the outcome, and even those that have left the ground and starting to head for their Sunday evening plans elsewhere. So that last third wicket partnership lasted 50 years. A really good opportunity here for this pair, given the infrequency of matches over the years now between Essex and Notts. Really good chance for this third wicket partnership maybe to last for another 50 years. So they'll want to make the most of it and get as many as they can. Rob Lord's coming back, 6 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 26. Why haven't you been using me, Skip? I got the 2 wickets for you. I'd have won this for you. I imagine he's not saying to Asiba Mead. He'll be taking on all sorts of advice from all those around him. 5 wickets last Sunday. Be mightily it's this Sunday. Never been a hat-trick in this whole series of fixtures between Essex and Notts. Essex lead 24-21 in all the completed games over the years. There's Lord then into bowl, and first ball's just driven on the bounce to LPW in the covers and goes to throw it up in the air as if to fool the likes of me, which he's done many a time in the past. 184 for 2. Won't linger long in the memory banks for many people this game, but it certainly will for Noah Fain and Robin Das and Jamal Richards. Next ball on its way now, pushed back to the bowler. Who's in charge of Essex today? Do we know? Is it of the regular coaching staff?
Captain or coach?
In the coaching.
Anthony McGrath. The break. Well, didn't see us.
No, I mean sometimes go to some grounds and some members of the coaching staff are away looking after the 100 sides, and maybe it's the second 11 coach that's getting an opportunity. Lord is in, and this is played on the leg side. Anthony McGrath's had more than enough memorable moments on this ground and victories over Nottinghamshire in his both playing and coaching career. So
McGrath's got complete power now. He's director of cricket as well as head coach.
So he'll remember it as well for again the next stage of the development of Noah Fain and Robin Das and Jamal Richards and others. It was a collective bowling unit. Ben Allison in cricket, but thought he had a good day with the ball. There's Lord in, slow loopy bouncer, and I was looking towards the square leg umpire, and Phil Mustard, who is relatively new on the umpiring scene, he's learnt 1 or 2 old tricks from the old masters, and already he's decided to stay on that side of the ground here at Trent Bridge with the sun behind him so he can see the lines. 184 for 2. Coming towards the end of the 40th over. Total domination from the visitors as Thane takes another single, punching it to mid-off. 185 for 2. There was one occasion, must be about a decade ago, when I think Mark Stoneman was still at Durham before he went down to Surrey and then Middlesex, and Phil Mustard, they opened the batting for Durham. And the hotel that you stayed in last night, there was a fire downstairs, either in the, I can't remember if Martin Emerson was in there and he was affected, whether it was the laundrette or the gym, but there was a fire. Started about 1 o'clock in the morning, or the fire alarms went off at 1 o'clock in the morning. As Lord bowls, this is in the air but out on the leg side. It's not going to carry out into the deep to Calvin Harrison, who has got the sunglasses on now. I presume he had them on earlier, the one he couldn't see, but a single taken. Obviously the fire engines were called and the hotel was evacuated, and all night the Durham players, coaching staff and media were all out on the streets outside that hotel once they got it all sorted out. Got next to no sleep. At the end of the day, it developed into a run chase, 180 off 18 overs or something silly, and Stoneman and Mustard came out and just flailed it to all parts when it looked as if, they'll just come out a token over or two and then shake hands. But Stoneman and Mustard in particular, the top of the order, put bat to ball, and Durham got home. So it was a very eventful day for them. No sleep and a lengthy day in the field, and then they left with all the points. Another one that our friend Mr.
Circle, there's a slip in as well. They need wickets and lots of them. Das on strike. As Patterson White bowls, that was dabbed into the offside, and they'll take a single to backward point. 186 for 2, 33 required for victory.
Yeah, we're almost at the point where if Notts were to win this, you'd say it's one of the most astonishing things I've seen, considering it's not going to happen.
No, it doesn't feel like it at this stage. Patterson White in again, tossed up, Yorker length, and jabbed out by Thane. He's on 71, Das still 13 shy of his maiden 100 in this day cricket.
It's there for him, isn't it? It's there. Just keep doing what you're doing, Robin.
187 for 2. Oh, that's pulled away. That's going to be 6. That's a big hit. That's 27 runs required for victory. 26 runs required for victory. Das goes, hang on, mate.
I thought you were going to say 27 rows deep into the lower Radcliffe Road. Yeah, the only thing that can stop Robin Das, I think, getting his 100 is Noah Thane.
Hang on, mate, have you seen I've only got 30 more required on the board?
Yeah, and he's,
go easy.
I don't know what his career best is. He's perhaps got other targets in mind.
That one takes the edge and run down. There could be a couple of runs here. Let's see what happens. Yep, they turn back for a second. 24 runs required for victory. It's all very well as captain wanting to win this from a Nottinghamshire point of view, but you don't want to run your bowlers into the ground for any reason. Stick with the spinners. This is looking like a defeat, barring an absolute miracle from a Nottinghamshire point of view. So very well played to these two youngsters. Thane on strike and Das at the non-striker's end. That was defect to the bowler, and there's no run. Ended going on. I reckon that's about 6 or 7 changes of gloves.
Yeah. Yeah, Patterson White's done, and a round of applause. It's not going to be figures that are going to make you go wow if you were seeing them for the first time either. I was going to say in a newspaper. I'm not necessarily sure there'll be any newspapers that would cover too much of a match report tomorrow with the bowlers' figures, but if you see it online later, Liam Patterson White 10 overs, no maidens, none for 43. He's actually bowled better than that. He's kept Essex nice and honest, and I think to go at just 4 thereabouts and over, he's had a pretty good day with the ball. A little bit unlucky on occasions. Rob Lord bowls. This is slammed away on the leg side by Das, and he's going to get runs here. Can Harrison stop it? No. It's hit the rope. So 4 to Robin Das, and he'll go into the 90s. On to 91, 199 for 2. 20 required, and he requires 9 of them.
I'm going to be quick here because this could be over quite quickly. So Stephen's been in touch. Thanks for getting in touch with us, Stephen. Great to hear about that game in Ilford that you were talking about, Dave. He thinks it was 99 not out was his highest score in 40 over cricket. The old Sunday League gave Essex, who had nearly gone bust in the 96 a new lease of life. They had many near misses in the 70s before finally winning the title in 81.
199 for 2. Lord in again, cut into the offside, and Lyndon James will shy at the stumps and hit him. But the umpire and nobody seemingly else is...
He was comfortably back.
Well, it's a no ball as well. So we'll talk you through that. First ball of the over, Rob Lord has been pulled away for 4 by Robin Das to go to 91. Second ball of the over has been cut to backward point straight to Lyndon James, and Noah Thane has come halfway down. James has picked it up. Thane sent back, just got there as the ball hit the stumps, and then the umpire sticks out his arm. I'm sure on the field there would have been a call, a no ball, but it's a no ball and a free hit. 201 for 2, And this is a bouncer that's hit up into the air and will clear Matthew Montgomery, running back at mid-on. And now in comes the throw, and they're going to come back for 2. Of course, damaging for Robin Das in a sense was that the no ball cost him another potential 2 runs, but he's just taken 2 from the free hit, if all that makes sense. 203 for 2. Essex requires 16. Das requires 7. And once he gets within 6, I'm going to put my feet up and I don't know, do some crayoning whilst David takes total and full responsibility for shepherding him through to his century. It's his fault if he gets out then. Lord bowls, and he's dropped this move to 94, but he's at the non-striker's end, so I'll plough on for a while.
Just to round off Stephen's email, starman in the early 70s for Essex was the incomparable Keith Boyce.
Yeah,
thanks,
yeah,
Stephen.
He was a hugely talented player and a great pickup for Essex. Another 3-dimensional player, as I say, the batting, bowling and the fielding aspect.
And a new list day high score for Thane. Previous best was 75 against Leicestershire at Kibworth last year.
Top stuff.
Thanks, Graham.
Oh, I've not been there. I've not been to Kibworth. Not been there.
So Essex on the verge.
Thane on 79. Rob Lord. Oh, that's a wide. I'm going to stop him getting his 100 in extras here. No balls and wides. I don't think he's doing that, and that is one thing that we've seen a time or two in the game, haven't we? And I absolutely abhor that when a player's on 99 and a bowler runs in and deliberately bowls a big wide when there's only 1 required. That's just horrible.
It's just not cricket, is it?
It's not. It's not. 205 for 2. Thane on 79. Rob Lord to bowl to him, cut to backward point. LJ's a good fielder. Lyndon James makes a good stop there. And there's no run. Where are we in this never-ending over? Well, it will end, but it seems to have gone on for a while. With 4 balls in.
It's going to be a 8-ball over at least.
Yep. This is the 5th ball of the 42nd over. Essex 205 for 2. Down the leg side, and that's paddled away, and I think that'll be 4 down below us. Will indeed. 205. Has it gone on? No, 209 for 2. Essex require 10. A word between the 2 batters. Noah Thane might just drop and run here and keep the strike. I was going to tell you how many he'd got, but they got Robin Das. Essex require 10. 1 ball left in the 42nd. Poor old Rob Lord. He's not even getting his teammates throwing the ball to him. He's had to walk about 30 yards to fetch the ball. Didn't see who threw it, or indeed if it was anywhere near him, or whether he dropped it. So Thane on strike on 83, last ball of the over. Rob Lord bowls to him, and Thane plays defensively. That was playing for his mate. 209 for 2 is the Essex score. Essex are going to win this, and Robin Das in this next over is going to get the 6 runs that he requires for a maiden one-day 100, and it's going to be beautifully described here by David Brett.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, well, that's the hope. Let's see what happens now. I think it's going to be spin. It is. Harrison back on for Nottinghamshire. This could well be the last over of the day. Let's see how Das goes about this. Slip in, and then back on the boundary. Got deep mid-wicket, long off, long on. There's a deep fine leg as well, and a man down at deep cover. 3 men on the offside. He will be targeting as best possible the leg side boundary. Or at least if he goes with the leg spin, punching over extra cover. 94 Das is on. Essex going to win this. 10 required off 48. They've perfectly paced this run chase. Never panicked when they lost those 2 quick wickets. As there's a big swipe, and that's going to go for Byers, is it? I think that's going to go for Byers all the way down to the boundary behind the keeper. Big old swipe. It is going to be Byers. Das probably said, I think I got a little bit of a nick on that.
Get him in, Byers.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Essex square 6 and he's on 94. Will he do a Keith Fletcher?
Yeah. So nothing left in this game other than to see if Das can get to his 100. You know there's a big shot coming. Oh, it's right up in the blocker as well, and it's a single taken. So what does Thane do here? Return the favour and just dab one out into the offside. Take a quick single.
Players, coaches, everybody will say get the game on, get the game on. But there is long enough here. There's the best part of 8 overs. I've nothing against Noah Thane knocking these back to the bowler.
Harrison in bowls, and that one's he did try and work that one down the ground, but picked out a Mead at short mid wicket. Harrison in again, and that's a dab towards backward point, no run. 5 still to win. Essex will do this.
Yeah.
And now is Das telling him just Das has come halfway down. Is that just to tell him, look, just hit it if it's there to be hit? Don't worry about my 100. We'll see. Oh, it's an LBW appeal on Gibbon. Thane not happy. He's out for 83. Prolongs the inevitable. 214 for 3. 1 ball left in the over. Just delays matters slightly here. Should be gone in the next over. And Essex have got to send someone else out to bat. Who's he going to be?
They send me out and they're still going to win this. Terrific knock from Noah Thane, 83 from 123 balls, 8 fours and 3 sixes. Again, you can say ifs and buts and whats and all the rest of it. You just wonder, don't you, what actually Robin Das said to him when he walked down and had a word with him prior to that one delivery. Played all around it. It's going to be Nick Brown.
Going to be Nick Brown. So, still 5 to win for Essex. They will do it. Just now all about whether Das can get to his 100. It requires 5, and just 5 runs remaining. 1 ball left in the over. What does Nick Brown do here if a juicy half volley comes up? Mind you, a juicy half volley, you can still punch it through the covers for 4 and still leave Das on strike in the next over. Not really Nick Brown's game to start firing balls to the boundary off the first delivery, but we shall see what happens here. And what does this mean for Nottinghamshire's hopes?
They've gone. They've gone. Yeah, they're absolutely gone.
So 2 slips in. Harrison with his leg spin. Bowls, and that's just defended by Brown. And that's the end of the over.
Yes,
oh, they've got the wrong number of balls, I think, up on the scoreboard. So 7 overs remaining. No, correction, that's correct. 7-6-42. Come on, Dave, get your maths together. It was 7 times table. So Das and Brown having a chinwag in the middle of the pitch here. Slater's coming for Nottinghamshire.
This isn't a drill. This is Ben Slater coming on. Matthew Montgomery hasn't bowled, has he? I'm slightly surprised in that. But Ben Slater has bowled 3 balls in this season's competition, which went 4-2-6 with the over starting with Glamorgan needing 12 to win, and Colin Ingram 4-2-6, job done. That was at Neath, obviously, and it was a similar sort of scenario.
There is 2 men on the boundary in the deep on the leg side. There's long on, sorry, long off, deep mid wicket, sorry, make that 3, and deep backward square leg. It's a huge gap if he wants a single. If he wants to try and punch it over cover, there's a simple 4/6, but he needs 5 runs as Robin Das. Driven back down the ground, is that going to be 4 of them? Chases on, that's 4. 1 more for his 100. Lovely shot down the ground, as straight as you like. field's got to come in now, surely.
Yeah, never been a tie between these two sides, and there won't be one today with...
That would be quite a remarkable thing if it ended in a tie.
With 6.5 overs left, the scores are level. That's either need 7 for none or 6.5 overs of dots.
So can Robin Das get his single here for his century? 99 off 117 so far. Essex 1 tee of balls remaining. In comes Slater. Das backs away, jabs the ball down towards short third man. There's no run there.
Could Nick Brown have gone?
He's got to be backing up as Nick Brown here, just in case Das calls him through for a sharp single.
Run for your mate.
Fields are in, very, very close. Das under pressure. Just one for his maiden 100. Pulls it away into the leg side, and he's going to go through for a quick single. The throw's going to come in, and he gets him, makes it down as well. It's over throws as well. For over down at the far end, players, fans, and coaches. Robin Das makes his maiden list 100. That's off 119 balls, including 9 fours and 1 6. And Essex win with plenty to spare as well by 7 wickets. A really good display that by Essex in the end.
Just wondering, just on a technical in Essex in just a second. The board has gone, and I mean the scorers know what the scorers are doing. The scorers are right on it always. It's stopped on 219 for 3 and Robin Das 100 not out. I think initially I'd have called it as you called it, but I think just reflecting back, the game is dead once that one is taken. So he won't get a new best of 104. So it doesn't alter anything at all. Essex have won by 7 wickets. Robin Das, terrific. Many congratulations to the young man. I wish I'd saved my Das is sehr good line until now, because I quite like that one. I bet it's been used before, but nonetheless it was very impressive from the young man. He's somebody I think I've seen once before. He would have played in the match at Chelmsford last year, but without leaving a mark on me. Today he has left a mark. I'll remember this innings. He's a highly talented youngster, and can only wish him fresh heights. And the same with Noah Fain, who's been terrific, and also Jamal Richards. Essex have thoroughly deserved their victory today. You always wonder when a side's knocked out of the competition in any sport. You wonder if, is the heart going to be there, or are they just going to bring in some players just to give them a game and whatever, just to fulfil the fixture. Essex have been bang on it from the moment Tom Wesley won the toss, and particularly from that devastating over bowled first up by Jamal Richards when he got 2 important top order wickets. Ben Slater for 47, and then knocked over the stumps, the off stump of Asiba Mead for naught. And from that point on, I thought from then I thought this is very much game on. Essex are here to play, but it just got better and better for Essex, and they've deservedly taken the points. Notts will go to Rugby School on Wednesday to play Warwickshire, because that's a fixture they've got to fulfil, but they won't go there with any hopes of reaching the knockouts this year. Same for Essex, they will finish at beautiful Hove on Wednesday, and then that'll be it. That'll be the end of the 50 over competition for this season for both counties. Enjoyable being back at Trent Bridge. Very much enjoyed your company, David. Best wishes to you and their followers for the rest of the season. Down at Chelmsford beginning of September for the county championship game, and hope we can catch up with friends during those 4 days. What have you made of it?
Absolutely, yeah. Love being back up here. It's been a while. As I said, the last time I came back up here was during the pandemic, so it's a complete change of scenery. Obviously, welcome Essex. Went a little bit too late for them in the competition, and unfortunately knocked out Nottinghamshire along the way as well. But it's been a good day, great day for Robin Das, great day for the youngsters, Thane, Das and Jamal Richards. It's been a pleasure, Dave. Thanks for having us. You're
very welcome. Safe travels to you and any Essex supporters that have come, and also the team. As I say, looking forward to my few days down in Chelmsford in early September. If you see me, come and say hello, unless I owe you money, in which case don't. I'll be, God willing, at Rugby School. That'll be a new one for me, so you might hear me waxing lyrical about what I can see on Wednesday morning with whichever member of the BBC Coventry and Warwickshire team are there. Again, sometimes forget to say it, but today I won't. Huge thank you to our camera crew all around the ground out in stifling conditions. Your work is really appreciated. I know everybody watches the live stream, watches the pictures as and when they can, and really appreciate your work. And hopefully today, well, I don't think today there's been any gremlins whatsoever. So I hope you've enjoyed the pictures, the coverage, and the graphics. And sincere thanks to Kirsty and Aaron, who run the production side of things, for keeping us on air, for looking after us, not giving us a telling off. So we must have done okay today. And again, we'll just end with the final outcome from Trent Bridge. Notts below par score, in truth, 218 all out. Jamal Richards, the pick of the Essex bowlers, 5 for 31, and then Essex knocked those winning runs off, with Robin Das finishing 100 not out, having shared in a third wicket county record partnership against Notts of 185 with Noah Fain, who made 83. From David Brett, myself, Dave Bracegirdle, enjoyed your company today. Thanks to everybody that's taken the trouble to be there or to get in touch, or both. We'll speak to you soon.